FAC opponent, Miami Trace, who Western Brown is familiar with. They've been playing them for the last several years as well, but you touched on it too, Greg. Coach Osborne wants to play a complete game. They haven't done it yet. He talked about how they played 30 good minutes last week. They've got to be able to limit those turnovers, eliminate mistakes, and eliminate the big play from the opponent. Those are things that they've kind of been stressing on throughout the entire season. They've struggled with all of that since week 1 against Hillsborough on the road, and now they'll get another chance to do it before they enter conference play next week.
So again, this is, 2 weeks in a row is unprecedented that we've seen the coin toss. I don't think that's ever happened.
No.
And Miami Trace did win the toss, but they elected to receive the ball first. So we'll see that offensive front and the stud running back Julian Baker out there first. That Western Brown defense, they've been able to get some big stops here and there, create some turnovers, and do some different things where they've been able to get themselves off the field. But in these games, these kind of run-heavy games, it just seems like they get worn down a little bit towards the end after being out there and kind of taking a beating. So, I think it's going to be important that they get some stops early and get some of those sustained offensive drives to keep the legs fresh on a hot Friday night.
It definitely, especially you talked about the heat. This is probably the hottest game temperature-wise that either of these teams have played so far this season, so that's going to be a struggle to deal with. But, yeah, the keeping guys fresh and in there. Western Brown plays a lot of guys both ways, especially when you got guys injured. You lose a guy like Ty Spalding, who we're hearing potentially is going to be back next week, so that's huge for this Western Brown team. But you lose a guy like that who played 3 positions for this team, and now potentially you got 2-3 new guys coming in to replace him, and it's a lot to deal with. And like you said, having those sustained drives, keeping your defense on the bench, getting them hydrated and resting those legs a little bit is crucial in any game, especially for this Western Brown team where a big portion of this team plays both ways, or will at least rotate in.
So we got about 10 and a half minutes, so we kick this one off as the Western Brown Marching Band finishes the alma mater song there. It is youth night here at Western Brown, so all the future Friday Night Light Bronco players kind of getting their time out on the track before the game started. And now it looks like the Western Brown Marching Band as the JROTC Honor Guard's coming out to present the colors, so we're just about ready to have the national anthem here. We will take a break, and we'll be back with more of our post-game show right after this on 99.5 The Edge and GoodGuysRadioTV.com.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Southern State Community College celebrates 50 years of educating our community. From humble beginnings, Southern State has evolved to become a cornerstone of accessible education, offering flexible learning that includes a growing number of online classes and fully online programs. Southern State Community College empowers you to succeed quickly with a very affordable tuition rate when compared to many four-year institutions. Call 800-628-7722 or apply online at sscc.edu.
Highlands County Senior Citizen Center's annual Senior Expo is Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with free bingo to follow. Over 60 businesses from Highland and surrounding counties will be there providing valuable information for seniors. Mark your calendar for this event. Enjoy a live band, costume contest, tons of free giveaways and prizes. The event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for raffles and lunch. The public is invited to attend this valuable resource fair and fun. See you Tuesday, October 7th.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsborough and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Welcome back in here to Western Brown High School. The marching band, again, for Western Brown, always doing a great job playing the national anthem. And the JROTC Honor Guard presenting the colors. We're going to talk a little bit about both these teams that will be featured here tonight, just under 8 minutes till we kick it off. Starting with the visitors on the scoreboard, the Miami Trace Panthers. They are led by head coach Jerry Williams, who is in his 9th overall season. Coach Williams is now in his 8th season leading the Panthers, leading them to 3 straight 10-win seasons. His overall record is 41-46, with 5 playoff appearances in the last 5 seasons and 2 playoff victories. A season ago, the Panthers finished the regular season 7-3, 3-2 in that FAC conference in second place. And in the playoffs, they faced St. Mary's Memorial in the first round, where the Panthers would lose a close game 28-24. Currently, the Panthers are 4-0, with victories coming against Waverly, Wilmington, Logan Elm, and Batavia. So Western Brown trying to find their first win of the season here. Miami Trace trying to stay perfect, a 4-0 in conference play so far. Now I'll hand it over to Rob. He'll talk a little bit about Western Brown.
The Broncos, coached by Nick Osborne, now in his 6th season. Overall record for Coach Osborne, 34-25, with 6 playoff victories in there. Western Brown coming off a Week 4 game where they were outmatched, able to hang strong in the first half. In the second half, though, Jackson took over, scoring 14 in the third and another 7 in the fourth. Ended up with a running clock, and they pitched a shutout as well in the second half, did Jackson. Broncos' current record, like Greg said, 0-4, looking to get in the win column in their final non-conference games tonight.
So some key performers for the Miami Trace Panthers. We mentioned his name before, Julian Baker, averaging 238 yards a contest. 9 touchdowns, Gage Hendry, 7.5 tackles a game. Hayden Cornell does have a couple interceptions on the team. And then we mentioned his name, Adam Guthrie, the big man on the right side. Well, actually, he kind of flips back and forth, I think, on that offensive line. Kind of lines up on the right, lines up on the left sometimes as well. But, again, he goes 6'8", about 300 pounds. He's ranked number 157 in the ESPN Top 300 high school football players in the United States. And, again, we mentioned earlier, has accepted a scholarship offer to Clemson University, obviously one of the premier schools in college football. Having a little bit of trouble this year early on, but Dabo Sweeney has won at least one national championship, I think, maybe 2. I can't remember, 2, I think. And, again, I can't stress it enough. I mean, this guy's no joke. He had probably 40-plus major Division I offers, a lot of SEC, Big Ten schools, some Big 12 schools. I mean, schools all across the country from north, south, east, and west. So Big Adam Guthrie is going to be playing on Saturdays for a while, and you never know. Maybe if he gets to college, has a good career, maybe playing on Sundays someday. But he is a force, a big man on that offensive line. So it'll be fun to watch him here tonight if you're tuning in on Good Guys Radio TV. He goes about a head and shoulders taller than anybody else out there on the field, so you will be able to pick him out pretty quickly. Big number 73 out there. Now I'll hand it over to Rob, and he'll have some of those Western Brown key performers.
Well, starting on the defensive end, senior defensive back, number 32, Dre Mitchell, with 16 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pass breakup. Senior defensive back, number 1, Zayden Nichols, 11 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 forced fumble. And sophomore defensive back, who was our player of the game last week, number 15, Carson Parker, with 12 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. And we talked to Coach O about him a lot. He's a big spark plug for this team, just slots right in, plays at 100% all the time, no matter what. And he's been great for them to get in that lineup. Offensively for the Broncos, sophomore quarterback number 16, Deion Bradford, broke 1,000 yards on the season last week. Now at 1,013 passing and 5 touchdowns with 78 rushing yards. Senior wide receiver number 3, Elijah Valdez, with 269 receiving and 2 touchdowns. And senior wide receiver number 17, Braden Harmon, 256 receiving and 1 touchdown. So those guys are kind of neck and neck receiving. And when you have 2 guys like that, both of them can take the top off at any time. Makes it difficult to game plan for it because they're usually on opposite sides of the field. So difficult task to cover all these weapons for Western Brown.
So, again, it is youth night here at Western Brown. They got the Pee Wee football teams out here. I know a lot of them are having a lot of success so far this season on Saturday morning afternoons when they play their games. So the future of Bronco football looks bright. Speaking of the future of Bronco football, some junior high scores from this week. The 7th grade defeated Miami Valley Christian Academy on the road. Final score on that one was 22-8. And then the 8th grade team played at New Richmond. I believe it was at New Richmond. Final score on that one, 36-6. Western Brown won that one as well. So I believe the 7th grade team remains undefeated. And a win against a good team. I know I actually talked to Coach Osborne a little bit earlier today, and he was really impressed with the way they played against that Miami Valley Christian team. They had a couple of good players, and again, Easton Taylor, the quarterback on that 7th grade team, is having a really good season and spreading the ball around and likes to sling it around. So if you get a chance, go out there and check out those. They play on Wednesdays typically. This week, 8th grade played on Wednesday, 7th grade played on Thursday. But typically they play on Wednesday nights, so if you get a chance, come out and see those junior high teams play. They're having a heck of a season so far. Some other games going on across the Southern Buckeye. Batavia's on the road at Bethel. Wilmington goes out to Chillicothe. Cincinnati Country Day at Claremont Northeastern. Monroe at Clinton Massey. Gamble Montessori travels to East Clinton. Blanchester at Goshen. New Richmond at Roger Bacon. Miami Trace at Western Brown here. This one, and Greenfield McLean at Williamsburg. So we'll try to get some scores for you on that. And then I believe Rob's got a few keys to the game. We got just about 2 minutes to go here till we kick it off. Miami Trace has run out over on their far sideline. It looks like Western Brown getting ready to come across the street here behind us and run through the tunnel and through the band over here to our right. So I'll hand it to Rob with those keys to the game.
Well, starting with Western Brown offensively, they've got to stay balanced in that attack. And what that means, they had a lot of success last week running the ball. Didn't do so much throwing it in the first half, but Jackson did a great job of shutting that down. So if they can run the ball, kind of open up that pass game, get those safeties to creep down and those corners to sneak up, maybe throw something over the top and keep this Miami Trace team honest. And then they've got to limit those self-inflicted mistakes, the penalties, the turnovers. Coach Osborne talks about that week in and week out with us in the pregame huddle. Capitalize on the mistakes of the opponents too. They've got to be able to create turnovers, and then defensively maintain that discipline, stay in your gaps, and maintain those assignments and limit those mistakes as well. You got 2 guys rushing in the gap, that opens up a huge hole. Miami Trace got to keep the Broncos in front of them defensively. Don't let them attack deep where they can hurt you. We talked about those receivers and how they can take the top off at any moment. And then Miami Trace, they're going to run the ball. They got to establish the run game and utilize their formation and unbalanced looks to gain that leverage up front. You're going to see the big man Guthrie flipping sides and trying to gain the advantage either side of the field they're on.
So again, Western Brown has come out there on her sideline. Miami Trace over on the far sideline. Western Brown will be wearing their brown jerseys and pants with yellow letters and numbers and white helmets, and Miami Trace will be in white jerseys, white pants with their black helmets and black letters and numbers with yellow trim. So a familiar opponent for Western Brown. They've gone back and forth. Last year we went up there, and Guthrie actually got hurt in that game, didn't finish out the second half there. Western Brown had some chances to win and just couldn't quite punch it in there at the end. But this is another one of those kind of Jackson matchups over the past couple of years where it's been kind of a back and forth, trading punches. Trey Robinette was her quarterback since I think he was a freshman or sophomore. He's gone now. Julian Baker's a sophomore last year. Now he's a junior, so he's got another year of experience under his belt. So some familiar faces, but 2 new quarterbacks for each team in this game that'll be playing the snap. So it should be a really good one. And again, Western Brown feels like Coach Osborne, I know the way he coaches this team and the way that they look at it, they're not going to roll over, and they're going to be fighting with everything they have here tonight.
Definitely, yeah. And like you said, this is a common opponent for them the last several years. So they're familiar with each other, the types of plays that they run, and what they're going to see schematically. So this will be a fun one as we're set for the kickoff here.
Jetter's got it teed up. Greg Liming, Rob Bowman here. Carson Inman back in the studio. Brandon Rigdon up top on GoodGuysRadioTV.com camera. Jetter runs up, line drive kick's going to bounce around the 10-yard line, and it's going to trickle out of bounds just before it goes across the goal line, about the 4, maybe 3-yard line, so it will be a kick out of bounds. Well, we've seen that a couple of times, and so now they will trot out. The Miami Trace offense will trot out the Western Brown defense for their first possession of the game here tonight. And again, it is a toasty evening here. We get into mid-September, you think you might have to start bringing out the hoodies and the jeans, but man, everybody's got shorts and flip-flops on here tonight. About 85 degrees still at kickoff, so it's going to be a warm one. We'll see if that affects, like you said, some of those players that have to play both ways for these teams.
Yeah, and it definitely comes back to those early season issues you see too with cramping. It hasn't been so hot early on in the season, but tonight it's going to test both of these teams condition-wise.
As a former player, would you rather play hot weather or super cold weather?
Hot. All day.
That was pretty quick.
The cold is just different.
Yeah.
It's when you've played in it, the hits are different. You can feel it throughout your bones. It's the heat all day for me.
Number 21, Baron Phipps, will take the snaps, a little bit low snap. He's going to hand this one to Baker up the middle, and Western Brown ready on the spot. Couple of people in on that tackle. Baker goes forward for about a yard. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
A good job. They try to go right up the middle on that left side, and the Broncos crash down quickly. Very short gain and good start for this Bronco defense.
That was number 73. Landon Basham was in on that tackle for Western Brown. Again, as well as a couple others, I believe. Number 40 was in on that one as well, Sebastian Roberts. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 36. 11 and a half minutes to go here in this first quarter. Phipps in the shotgun, ready for the snap, claps his hands, he'll take it. They're going to pitch it out wide this time, coming towards the sideline. Baker trying to set up some blocks, takes a couple of big shots. Valdez in on the tackle, and they're going to drop him for about a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and looks to be about 6.
Yeah, that was a great play from Dre Mitchell coming up in that corner spot, making a good tackle on the sideline. Now it's third and medium, almost 3rd and long range for this team. Good penetration by that defensive front. Big number 73 getting in there, Landon Basham.
So it's going to be 3rd and 6 with 10:53 to go here in this first quarter. Western Brown with a 3rd down opportunity to try to force a punt or at least a 4th down decision from the Miami Trace Panthers. Different formation this time. Phipps in the shotgun, has one receiver running back on either side. He fakes a handoff. He's going to keep this one, has room up the middle, and Phipps is behind the defense completely, and no one is going to catch number 21, Baron Phipps. He's going to run in for the touchdown. No penalty flags on the play. So Miami Trace is going to draw first blood. I think maybe caught the Broncos off guard a little bit there. They were expecting that one to be handed off to Cooper Enox. And Phipps decided to pull it out at the last second and took it up that right side to the house.
Yeah, they bit hard on that outside run play, and Phipps just able to tuck and run right up the middle. Huge run on 3rd down, too.
So they scored the first points with 10:31 to go in the first quarter. Number 89, Cam Throman, is going to try the extra point for the Panthers, the freshman kicker. Snaps back, hold is down, and an end-over-end kick goes right down the middle to make it 7-0 in favor of the Miami Trace Panthers. We'll take a short break. Be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained. Because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Your local auto owner's agent is Cooper Tarvin Insurance. Call 513-752-9960 or visit ctinsurance.net.
So that'll be something that they try to stay inside on next time and stop that quarterback run.
So now Miami Trace will kick it away. Morgan and Loudermilk back deep to receive for the Broncos. Cam Throman will tee it up on the 40-yard line and kick it away for the Panthers. Throman puts his hand up, now runs up, and then short end-over-end kick is going to bounce around the 30, and it checks up, and it's going to be close. They're going to say, I don't know if it got out of bounds or not, and I think Miami Trace might have fallen on. Now a penalty flag does come out, so it did scoot out of bounds, but Throman almost dropped a pitching wedge in there in between the kind of the two lines of the kickoff return team for the Broncos. And fortunate for Western Brown, it does trickle out of bounds.
Yeah, they were very fortunate on that one. I think it just got to the sideline, and now they'll get the same opportunity that Miami Trace offense got on their first series from the 35.
A lot of bodies there, but I think a Miami Trace player came up with the football, but not before it went out of bounds. So they'll put it on the 35-yard line where Western Brown will have their first chance on offense. Coming up at the half, it's the Health Source of Ohio halftime report. We'll bring you your first half checkup, your Cincinnati Bengals studio update, and more. 10.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Western Brown will have their first possession. They'll be headed from right to left on your radio dial here in this first quarter over towards that north end zone in the Mount Orb Elementary School.
They moved it up to the 40, I guess, from where it went out of bounds.
It was hard to tell where the ball, there's a lot of, right in front of Western Brown sidelines, a lot of bodies in the way. Couldn't exactly see who came up with the ball, where it went out of bounds, but Rob's got it. It'll spot it right on the 40 on that left hash mark. Quarterback in the shotgun, 3 on the right, 1 on the left. They're going to hand this one to Morgan up the middle, cuts it back to the left. Now falls down, goes past the 40 out to about the 43-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
And similar run that we saw Miami Trace open up with just off that left side. And Morgan picks up a few there. Nice jump cut to start. That's something they're going to have to continue to do throughout this game to keep them honest defensively and not allow those or try to keep those safeties up so they can try to open it up with the pass game.
So they'll give him 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 just under 10 minutes ago. They'll go 5 wide this time. 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Ball still on the left hash mark. Bradford's going to run this one himself off the right side. Takes a shot around the 45-yard line. I think they're going to spot him just past the 45-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4.5.
A design QB run. We see that from Coach Osborne a lot. Most of the time it's in those very short yardage situations, but that time he goes forward on 2nd and long, and now it's going to be about 3rd and 5 for the Bronco offense.
So just past the 45-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 5. 9:23 to go. Ball's right in the center of the field. 5 wide again. Defender almost jumps off sides, but able to hold the line there. Now Bradford will call in the play. 3 on the right, 2 on the left again. Bradford on the 40-yard line takes a shotgun snap. He's going to run this one himself again. Spin move up the middle, and I don't think he quite got the yardage for the 1st down. It's going to be 4th down. I think they're going to give him maybe a yard, and it's going to be decision time for Coach Osborne.
It went back to that same play and only picked up maybe a yard on that. So fourth and medium coming up for this offense, and it looks like they are going to do a punt here.
So Aiden Jetter is going to trot out. Again, Rob mentioned that Ty Spalding playing 3 ways when he was in there. He was doing the punting duties. Jetter was doing the kickoff duties, but now Jetter, the goalie on the soccer team here for Western Brown, is going to do the kickoff and the punting duty for Western Brown while he's out. 8:25 to go. Jetter ready for the snap, takes it, and gets a good left-footed kickoff. It's a line drive, going to bounce, and it's scooped up on the bounce over on that far sideline. Trying to cut it back up towards the middle. Goes down about the 31-yard line. That was number 28, Austin Brown, returning the punt. So a quick 3 and out for the Western Brown offense, and now Miami Trace coming back out the other way for their 2nd offensive possession. But, you said it, just kind of a lot of, it seems like Coach Osborne kind of sticking with that run a lot here so far in this one. And I think, kind of backed up in their own territory there. They were close to midfield, but just didn't feel real comfortable giving it back to them there inside, if you don't get it inside your own territory.
Yeah, and that's something throughout his coaching career we've seen him go for quite a bit. Anything 4th and about 6, 7 or less. Usually he's going for it in that situation, but that time decides to flip the field.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 30. Phipps claps his hands as he's going to hand this one off to Baker up. No, keeps it himself. Now he's going to throw it out wide. And again, no coverage out here. Dre Mitchell trying to run him down. Two defenders trying to run him down, and he's going to take it to the house for a touchdown. Number 6, Cooper Enox. And I got to be honest, Barron Phipps fooled me on that one. I thought he handed it to Baker. Baker went right up the middle and took a shot, but Phipps pulled it down again and threw the little screen pass out to the right. And one play, one more touchdown for the Miami Trace Panthers.
And RPO concept, they had the quarterback covered, they had the running back covered, but not the receiver out on the edge, and that was a good block as well from his teammate at receiver, springing him free and able to scamper down the sideline. Just looked like Western Brown maybe got a touch on his jersey, but that was about it.
So a one-play touchdown scoring drive 8 minutes ago in this first quarter. Miami Trace trying to add on one more point here to make it 14-0 over Western Brown. Throwman will kick the extra point. Another good-looking kick, and it's good. Makes it a 14-0 ball game in favor of Miami Trace. We will take a short break. We'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and GoodGuysRadioTV.com.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today Visit with our folks and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Banter Tractor.
Welcome back in here to Western Brown. Miami Trace, one play, another touchdown drive for them. A nice, again, that RPO giving Western Brown some fits on the defensive side. Phipps has made a couple of really good decisions there to pull one down and run it himself. And then, again, fooled me there. I thought he gave it to Baker up the middle, pulled it down through the screen to Enox, and he took it to the house.
Yeah, and that's your new age triple option. Now you got the dive up the middle with the running back. The quarterback can run it around the edge, or he's got the, well, in that case, tight end or receiver sitting out on the outside if they crash down on the quarterback to go to, and that one works to perfection for the Panthers.
So Throman will kick it away. Again, Morgan and Loudermilk back deep to receive for the Broncos. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Miami Trace leads 14-0. End over end kick will be fielded by Loudermilk right about the 14-yard line. Coming back towards his own sideline, now cuts it back up the middle. Loudermilk has some space, gets his helmet knocked off around the 39-yard line. Takes a big shot from a couple of Panther defenders there on that play. Looks to be okay, but a pretty nice return again out to the 39. So back-to-back pretty good field position starts for the offense. We'll see if they can get a drive going here.
Yeah, Loudermilk has been that spark for them special teams-wise in the return game. He's done such a good job finding those seams and exploiting them throughout the year, and gets another chance there. Took a big shot, but pops right back up.
So I guess this works. Even though it's a change of possession, he'll have to sit out a play because he lost his helmet. Yeah, he's coming over towards the sideline, so Loudermilk will have to sit out one offensive play here after that. Took it, like you said, a big shot right there in the middle of the field, but bounced right up quickly. So 7:53 to go. Western Brown will have it for their second offensive possession. They got two receivers bunched out wide on the left. Morgan off the hip of Bradford in the shotgun. They're going to hand it to Morgan up the middle. Cuts it back to the right, bouncing around inside there. Able to fall forward right around the 43-yard line. So give him about a 4-yard gain. It's going to be second down and 6.
Yeah, another decent run. Same play they started off with last series. And Morgan finding that gap, able to get up for 3 or 4 yards on that play. Almost identical field position as they were in the last series.
Remember, 99.5 is your home for the Ohio University Bobcats. The Cats are home hosting Gardner-Webb tomorrow, September 20th. Pregame coverage begins at 2:30 with the kickoff at 3:30 right here on 99.5 The Edge. Bradford in the shotgun, same formation. Hands it off to Morgan again. Morgan trying to find some room on that right side, and he's going to be dragged down to the ground. I believe that was number 17, Joseph Reinscheld, got the first hit on him and brought him down. It's going to be a very short gain. It'll be third down.
Yeah, sticking with the run game here, and again, not much going off that right side. 3rd and 5 for Coach O in this offense.
Well, I watched a little bit of their game against Wilmington on YouTube this morning, a little bit earlier, and in that game, the run defense was really stout for Miami Trace. Wilmington had a lot of trouble running the football. Even had a couple of fumbles in that first half of that game. Bradford takes the snap, has good protection. Now some pressure. He's going to roll out, throws it late, has it complete to Peyton Day, bounces off another tackler, and Peyton Day is finally going to be slung down out of bounds, but all the way down inside Panther territory to the 33-yard line. A nice little pitch and catch on third down.
A really good play, and Bradford does a good job stepping out of the pocket. Day makes a great catch in traffic, able to run through that initial tackle attempt and get upfield down the sideline. Now they're into that Miami Trace territory.
So the ball spotted on the 33-yard line where it's first down and 10, 6:29 to go in this first quarter as the clock stops as Day went out of bounds. Bradford will hand this one to Morgan. Morgan following some blocks, cuts it back up the middle, keeps the legs turning down around the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. A nice little run on first down for Morgan.
And followed his lead blockers. Really patient run there. Kept his hand on the back. They were both pulled from that left side and able to get upfield for about 7 on that first down play.
You know, one thing we really haven't seen here is Guthrie last year played a lot of snaps on the defensive side. So far, he's solely playing offense here. Maybe kind of a change they've made this year. But he's so far sticking to the offensive line. Last year played a lot of defense as well. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Second down and 3 for Western Brown from the 26. Bradford in the shotgun, takes it. He's going to hand it to Morgan. Morgan has room on the left side. Cuts up through the middle, down inside the 20-yard line. Finally brought down about the 18. That's going to move the chains for Western Brown.
Another nice run from Justin Morgan. He does such a good job finding those little seams and he's able to shimmy right through, picks up a nice first down in the red zone now for the Bronco offense.
So Bronco offense moving the ball here with 5:30 to go in the first quarter. First down and 10 inside the 20 from the 18-yard line. Stick around after the game as we honor tonight's standout player as the 99.5 The Edge player of the game. Pretty much the same formation in this drive so far from Western Brown. Morgan in the backfield, 2 receivers lined up on the left. Bradford takes a snap, hands it to Morgan. Morgan finds room on the left side. Morgan all the way down inside the 10. The ball popped out, but they're going to say he was down by contact. And he's going to be right around the line of the game. We'll see where they mark it, but another nice run by Morgan.
Yeah, Miami Trace had good penetration initially, but they got a little bit too deep, and he's able to jump cut and get through that gap. Picks up a nice 9-yard gain there as we see Big Guthrie checking in now in that goal line situation inside the 10.
I had to bring it up, didn't I? 4:43 to go in this first quarter. Western Brown has it 2nd and 1 from the 9-yard line. Same formation here. Bradford in the shotgun, Morgan back there with him. Valdez and Harmon lined up out wide to the left. Hand it to Morgan, cuts it back to the left. Trying to drag a tackler, able to get out of one tackle. And I think he's going to have enough to set up a 1st and goal situation here. Another tough run for Morgan.
Yeah, good run. It got caught on the ankle, but still able to fall forward for the first down now. 1st and goal from that 7-yard line. Doing a good job now these last few plays running the ball, keeping it on the ground. It's what they did last week against Jackson, especially in the first half. And let's see if they can finish this one off with some points.
So 1st and goal from the 7 for Western Brown, trying to score their first points of the night and cut into a 14-point lead that Miami Trace holds currently. 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Hand it to Morgan. Morgan cuts back up the middle, takes a big shot right at the middle and is driven backwards. That was number 3, Gage Henry, laid the lumber, and I don't think he really got a whole lot on that one.
No, maybe about a half yard or so, if that. Henry put a big hit on him right at that line of scrimmage.
So again, Guthrie right over the ball there. That's tough sledding up the middle with the big man there, trying to find some room. Morgan's done a nice job on this drive, but a good job there by Henry to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So they're going to call it no gain, so ball still on the 7. It'll be 2nd down and goal with 3:28 to go in the first quarter. Bradford in the shotgun this time. Morgan lines up on his right side. 2 receivers on the left again. Bradford wants to throw this one. Looking over the middle now, has some pressure. Rolls out to his right. Squares his shoulders. He's going to throw it late. Trying to get in the end zone. A one-handed catch. Number 8 comes down with it. Peyton Day went up with a big left-handed paw and brought it down for a touchdown.
Great throw under pressure. Bradford rolls out of the pocket out to the right side where he evades that and kind of gets into some clean air. Sees Day running towards that front pylon on the right side. And Day with the one-handed snag brings it in for 6.
Hey, sticky gloves or not, that was a heck of a catch from Peyton Day. Went up there with the left hand in traffic and brought it down. Naomi Cover on to kick the extra point here. Snaps down, holds good. End over end kick is up and good to make it 14-7. So Western Brown answers back with a touchdown of their own. 14-7. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back here on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From Shack basketball
Shot by Osborne, Curry on the buzzer!
to Shack baseball,
Wells is going to drive. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown football,
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
to Shack volleyball,
Hatton for the kill, it's good.
local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV.
With the one-handed catch to bring it down. 1-score game now.
Ketter's going to kick it away for the Broncos. End over end kick is going to be fielded about the 12-yard line. Coming back towards the Western Brown sideline, trying to set up some blocks, cuts it back now, and going to be able to wrap him up. Nice job by Zayden Nichols to come in there and sling him down before he gets past the 25-yard line. That was number 2, Cornell, on the return, rather. So pretty good job on the coverage team. Best starting field position so far for this Western Brown defense.
Yeah, good coverage there from that kick team there from Western Brown, and see what they can do defensively now. Miami Trace, they don't have a first down in the game. They scored 2 really long touchdowns, but still yet to get their first down. But Coach Williams will be okay with that, scoring 14 on those first 2 series.
I think any coach would trade touchdowns for first downs, but it's kind of crazy to think about where 3 minutes left in this first quarter and they don't have a first down yet, just a couple of touchdowns. So Phipps in the shotgun, has 2 receivers this time lined up out wide on the left, a couple men in the backfield with him. Claps of hands and some movement on that line. No flag comes out as Julian Baker will take it up the middle for about a 5-yard gain. Lakin Deal got out of the stance a little bit early, but don't think he went across the line, so no penalty but a 5-yard gain from Julian Baker.
Yeah, good run from Baker to start that series and get the ball moving. 5 yards. They'll take that every play.
Well, thanks again to our season sponsors, including Higgins Steel Roofing, CR Deals, and John Wood Insurance. Greg Liming, Rob Bowman here with you on another beautiful Friday evening here in Southern Ohio for some high school football action. 2.5 minutes ago in this first quarter, Miami Trace with the football, leading 14-7. Phipps takes the snap, hands it to Baker. Baker's hit it right away, now driven back and keeps the legs turning. Good job for him to kind of just get back and get something out of nothing. But big Adam Pena got in there, and they actually are going to spot him with a gain. So a really tough run by Julian Baker to get some positive yards.
And Pena got to him in the backfield. Looked like it was going to be a TFL, but he's able to drag him forward for about 3, and now it's 3rd and short for this offense.
I think that was Landon Basham that got in there early. Big number 73, the 6'1" senior, got to him first, but he wasn't quite able to get a hold of him. And Baker is a big, strong running back. He's a big kid for a running back. He's able to keep those legs moving, makes it a 3rd and 2. Phipps takes the low snap, hands it to Baker. He's going to drag the pile forward past the 35-yard line to about the 37, and that's going to be enough for a Panther first down.
And that's, again, their first down of the night. Western Brown didn't make it easy on them, but they get that one by about 2 yards there. Keep those chains moving.
So Baker, again, hasn't broke a big one yet, but really effective here so far in this drive. Couple of really tough runs up the middle. Western Brown's done a really good job up the middle so far. It's those edge plays that have kind of hurt them here so far, kind of a misdirection, RPO type thing. So far on this drive, we've pretty much just strictly seen the handoff. Same formation here from the Panthers. 2 receivers on the left. Phipps in the shotgun will take the snap. He's going to hand this one to the fullback and able to cut it back up the middle. Mitchell couldn't bring him down, and a tough run there by number 44, Weston Dawes, and that's going to be just short of the line to gain a nice run on first down.
Yeah, really nice run off that right side. Nice cut after the initial contact. Able to run through that and pick up almost a first down on that carry.
Mitchell had a chance at him, dove in there kind of late, but just couldn't get a hold of him down there on the below the kneecaps. So he keeps the legs moving. Tough run by Dawes all the way up to the 46-yard line. Approaching midfield, it'll be 2nd down and 1 with 40 seconds to go in this first quarter. Miami Trace again headed towards that south end zone, over towards Mount Orb Middle School. 2 receivers on the left. Phipps in the shotgun, claps his hands, ready for the snap. Hands this one to Baker. Baker bounces it out to the left, and now chopped down at the kneecaps, and that's Carson Parker in there. Takes him down, and he's not going to get what he needs for the first down. It's going to be a 3rd down. A nice play by Parker again.
Yeah, and I think part of what helps Parker so much on that is him playing at the speed that he does. He's full go all the time, and he attacks the legs of those running back and takes away their strength versus him, what would be that leverage, but he gets lower than them.
That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter here. As Miami Trace has a 3rd down and 1 coming up after the break. It is 14-7 in favor of the Panthers. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with second quarter action on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Southern State Community College celebrates 50 years of educating our community. From humble beginnings, Southern State has evolved to become a cornerstone of accessible education, offering flexible learning that includes a growing number of online classes and fully online programs. Southern State Community College empowers you to succeed quickly with a very affordable tuition rate when compared to many four-year institutions. Call 800-628-7722 or apply online at sscc.edu.
Welcome back in here for second quarter action. Miami Trace has the football, 3rd down and 1 from the 46 as we will flip into the field. And now Miami Trace will head from right to left on your radio dial over towards that north side of the field of that end zone over to our left. We're here in the home side press box. Brandon Rigdon up top on the camera for us for goodguysradiotv.com. Check us out over there where you can see the live video stream and hear the call from Rob and myself. Phipps hands this one off. Baker has first down yardage and more past midfield down to about the 46-yard line is where they're going to spot it. That'll move the chains on 3rd down for the Panthers.
Yeah, nice run on that 3rd down play. Able to convert again. They're 3 for 3 now on 3rd down conversions. Get the ball across the 50 as well.
While we were kind of talking there, Baker, it goes in the backfield there, 6'1". We don't have weights on our roster, but Baker goes 6'1". And Cooper Enoch's a tight end. He lines up in the backfield quite a bit, too. He goes 6'2". They got some big guys back there handing the football off to. Tough to bring down. And it's going to be 1st and 10 inside Bronco territory now on the 46. Hand off to Baker coming this way. He's met right away, and he is able to fall forward for a couple of yards. That's going to be number 59 for Western Brown. Nash Scroggins gets to him and brings him down. It's going to be 2nd down at about 8.
And Western kind of changing things up there, trying to take this big offensive front out of it. Kind of goes low, Bashman does, and takes out the guard on that right side, left side of the offense, right side of the defense, and kind of force the running back to hesitate there.
So he does get a couple yards up to the 44. It'll be 2nd down and 8, 10:54 to go in this first half. Phipps takes a snap, hands this one out. No, pulls it down himself. He's going to run it again, and Phipps, I think, got maybe tripped over his own player. He might have had another touchdown. He's going to be spotted right at the 35. It will be, or 34 rather. It is going to be enough for a 1st down for Baron Phipps.
And Western did a good job closing off that run play, which would have been to the outside. They waited to the last minute to pull that one, did Phipps, and he's able to go right up the middle for a big 1st down.
So they'll spot it on the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Miami Trace driving here to start this second quarter. Phipps has done a nice job. Had some really good reads on those RPO plays. 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. That one almost did there. He was tripped up as he got to that last line of defense there. 2 receivers on the right. Phipps takes the snap. He's going to hand this one to Baker. Baker cuts it back up the middle. Gets through a couple tacklers. Baker's still going. Shuffle step on the outside. They're finally able to bring him down, but not before he goes inside the 20. About a 13-yard pickup there is going to be 1st down for the Panthers.
And another nice run. Dre Mitchell does a good job of tripping him up there at the end, but not before he picks up the 1st down and gets inside the red zone.
And I think that's something about Baker that's kind of underappreciated. He's had a couple of times where it could have gone for no yards or a loss, but he's able to just kind of dive forward, keep the legs moving. Even when he's got nothing going, he gets a yard or 2 to keep them in front of the sticks where the playbook's fully open. So it'll be first down and 10 from the 19 now. The receivers will flip sides, ball's on the right hash mark. Phipps ready for the snap, takes it, hands it to Baker. Baker goes up the middle, bouncing around, able to be brought down now. And the ball popped out, but he was down by contact. That was number 8, Peyton Day on the stop there. Goes forward for about 4 yards, going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, I think what you talked about, too, on that last play with Baker, keeping those feet moving, that's one of those things for those young kids out there to kind of learn from. If you keep those feet moving, you never know what's going to happen. He's had a couple plays where he's been stuffed up in the backfield, wrapped up in the backfield, and able to keep those legs turning. Justin Morgan does a great job of it, too, and still able to get past the sticks or gain a few yards on those plays that look like they're going to be a loss.
So they're going to give him 3 up to the 16-yard line where it's 2nd down and 7. And now whistle's blowing. It looks like Western Brown is going to take a timeout and talk things over on the defensive end. A long, sustained drive here for the Panthers. 8:55 to go here in the second quarter. But, I mean, it's just like we just talked about. It's just they just seem like they're just wearing them down already here in the second quarter. Julian Baker, hard to bring down, doesn't go down on first contact almost ever. And then Phipps is doing a really nice job making some good reads, deciding when to pull it, when to throw it. They've only thrown it one time, and it's gone for a touchdown. So Miami Trace offense firing on all cylinders here so far in this one.
Yeah, and that RPO is really been, I mean, they had the one big touchdown play, but it's keeping Western Brown honest defensively too, because they got to cover 3 different things now. You got the quarterback run off of the dive or the outside stretch play, outside zone play that they're running as well, and then you still got the receiver pass off of that they can go back to. So you have so many things that you have to be responsible for on that defensive side, and that's where that discipline has to set in for Coach Wilson and staff on the defensive side.
So Western Brown trotting back out on defense. Miami Trace offense coming back out. Ball's on the 16-yard line as Miami Trace is knocking on the door again. They scored a couple of times really quickly. This has been more of a long, sustained, run-heavy drive, actually run-only drive here so far for Miami Trace. 2 receivers on the right, 2 men in the backfield with Phipps. A little bit of movement up front there, and now a penalty flag is going to fly in, and I think that's going to be offsides on the defense. It's been a couple of times we've seen players kind of jumping around in the trenches there, and I think that one is going to go against Western Brown. And now they're going to huddle up and talk about it. They kind of do that clap where Phipps claps, and then they all set at the same time, and then it's like a second later they snap the ball. So, if you're going to do that, I would assume, that takes a lot of repetition. You got to be in sync on that.
Yeah, and with the types of plays, too, you got to make sure everybody's set, too. You still have receivers out on the edge. Sometimes they're running that motion. So if you're not set for a second before you snap it, then that's going to be a motion penalty or something like that. We are getting the call now, and it is offsides on that Bronco defense.
So they talked about it for a few minutes there, as I think that was in the middle there. Someone for Western Brown jumped across. But, again, there's been a couple of plays where it's kind of looked a little off sync there on either side. That's the first time we've seen it called on a penalty. So we'll move them forward 5 yards, going to make it second down and a lot more manageable now for this offense here. Second down and 2 as I wind the clock with 8:45 to go in the second quarter. Miami Trace looking to add to their 7-point lead here before the middle of this second quarter. Phipps claps his hands, takes a snap. A little bit of trouble, and the ball's on the ground. Phipps picks it up, but he was down on his knee when he finally scooped it up. It looked like he was trying to get it to Baker, maybe a little either miscommunication or a late pull attempt there from Phipps. Drops it on the ground, so that's going to be a loss. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever had control of that after the shotgun snap and just had to jump on that one. And Western Brown gets that penalty yardage back that they just lost.
So that takes him back outside the 15-yard line to the 16 now, where it's going to be third down and about 7. Same formation here. We got one man behind Phipps. Baker off to his right, 2 receivers lined up out wide on the right. Phipps takes the snap. He's going to run this one, looks to pitch it. He pitches it late, throws it over the head of the defender, and Julian Baker's going to take it in. Kind of a risky throw, little pitch there for Phipps, but it works out for him, and Baker's going to take it in for a touchdown, and that's going to make it a 20-7 ball game.
Yeah, went with the triple option there, and a really late decision there from Phipps. Throws it over the top of the defender. You don't want to see that too much as a coach. If D. Lyman gets his hand up, that's a fumble right there, and but they capitalize on that, and Baker's able to go in easy 6 there.
So Baker trots in for the 16-yard touchdown on the pitch play. Thurman will kick it the extra point, trying to make it a 21-7 game. Snaps back, holds good. End over end kick is good. Makes it a 21-7 lead now again for Miami Trace, back to a 2-score game. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Highlands County Senior Citizen Center's annual Senior Expo is Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with free bingo to follow. Over 60 businesses from Highland and surrounding counties will be there providing valuable information for seniors. Mark your calendar for this event. Enjoy a live band, costume contest, tons of free giveaways and prizes. The event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for raffles and lunch. The public is invited to attend this valuable resource fair and fun. See you Tuesday, October 7th.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
To make it 21-7.
Yeah, a couple third down conversions as well there, and And once Baker had the ball in his hands, there was nobody in front of him. He's able to run just in front of that pylon on the left side, convert on the third down, and put another 6 on the board for that offense.
And again, first touchdown for Baker, but he is a special athlete. He's another guy that's got some D1 type offers, some MAC schools, and I think that someone said he was a 3-star recruit, so he's going to get a chance to play at the next level, as well as Big Adam Guthrie. This kickoff will be over towards the 20-yard line. It's going to be fielded this time by Harmon. He's coming back towards his own sideline now, reverse this field, and he's not going to be able to go anywhere. They're going to drop him inside the 20. Really good coverage down there. That was number 3, Gage Henry again. We got to him and dropped him. And Loudermilk over here on the trainer's table, not out there for that kickoff. Not sure if they're checking him for a concussion maybe after that big hit. But Harmon, nowhere to go on that one.
No, nowhere to go. They kicked it to the opposite side of the field that time, and Harmon tried to bring it back to his own sideline on the far side of the field and just had nowhere to go. Had to stop all his momentum and got tackled right at the 20-yard line.
So they're going to spot it just about exactly a football length inside the 20. Remember to stay tuned for the Coach's Comment Show coming up after the game, presented by Cooper Tarvin Insurance. So 7:40 to go in this first half. Western Brown will have it on the 19-yard line. Now they're headed left to right on your radio dial. Hand it to Morgan. Morgan trying to find some space on that right side, and he goes nowhere. Goes for no gain over on the right side. Miami Trace ready for the up to the task, and they're going to drop him for no gain. It's going to be second and 10.
Yeah, nothing going there. Miami Trace collapsed quickly, and they're actually going to mark him for about a yard loss on that play.
So, yeah, they are going to mark him. The ball was just shy of the 20-yard line. Now it's truly on the 19-yard line. So, maybe not even a full yard, but we'll call it a 1-yard loss. Tackle for loss nonetheless. 7:05 to go in this second quarter. Bradford in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Rolling to his left. Wants to throw this one. Squares the shoulders. Now he's going to throw it. Tipped around and almost intercepted, but it falls to the ground. I think that was number 17. Reinscheld had a chance to come away with the pick there for the Panthers, but it falls to the turf incomplete. Will bring up third and long.
Had a couple different chances at it. He was in great coverage in front of the receiver from Western Brown. Got his hands on it, not able to reel it in. Western Brown fortunate there.
Almost tipped it to Harmon. Harmon kind of had a chance at it too. So nonetheless, it falls incomplete, so it's going to be third and 11. 6:57 to go as the clock stops with the incompletion. So a third and long here for Western Brown to stay on the field on the offensive end. Bradford takes the snap, couple step drop, looking over the middle. Now he's going to throw it, and it's going to be complete to Valdez. Valdez makes one man miss all the way up to almost midfield, and a big chunk play for Western Brown up to the 48-yard line, and that'll be a big third down conversion for Western Brown.
That was a great throw from Bradford right over the middle, had pressure in his face, puts it over the top of the linebacker there. Valdez reels it in and gets upfield. Looked like he had a chance to break that one, a shoelace shy from being 6 points there.
You said it. Beautiful throw from Bradford just over the top of those linebackers in the middle. They're able to drop it right in the bucket to Valdez. That'll be first and 10 now from the 49, just short of midfield. Bradford takes the snap, hands it to Morgan. Morgan has some running room, bouncing around, and now he's going to be slung down, but not before he goes forward for about an 8-yard gain. And that's a nice run by Justin Morgan. It'll be second and short.
Yeah, really nice run. One of his bigger runs of the night there, and now they're into that Panther territory off that left side. They have the tight end off to the right. Good run from the Broncos. Got to keep this drive going.
So down inside the 45-yard line in Panther territory up to the 43. It'll be second down and 3. Bradford in the shotgun takes the snap, hands it to Morgan, and he's lucky he held onto that one. The ball popped straight up in the air, but Morgan's able to get it. Gage Henry again called his name a couple of times. He's going to drop him for a short loss, I think. But Western Brown really lucky to hold on to that one.
Lost it at the handoff with Bradford, and maybe marked him for slight loss on that play. But yeah, like you said, Greg, very fortunate to hang on to that one as the ball popped up over his head, able to bring it back down and maintain possession.
Gage Henry, the linebacker, number 3, the junior linebacker, listed as one of their backup quarterbacks as well, as having himself a heck of a first half here. He's had a couple of big plays on the defensive end. This time, third down, they're going to hand it to Morgan. Morgan falls forward, but he's not going to have enough for the first down. Looks like it's going to be about fourth down and 1. And I would be shocked to see anything but the Broncos go for this one with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Coach Osborne calling that play in now. No question here in Panther territory, 4th and 1.
And Big Adam Guthrie is going to check in for this 4th and 1, trying to clog up the middle. Bradford in the shotgun. They go up and try the hard count. No one jumps now. Bradford looks over to Coach Osborne for the final call. 17 seconds on the play clock. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. Western Brown trying to answer after another score. They're down 21-7 to Miami Trace. Another beautiful Friday evening football game. It looks like Western Brown's going to take this thing down and call a timeout. So Coach Osborne's going to use his second timeout of the quarter here. There's 4:29 to go. It's going to be a 4th down and 1 coming up here. But again, you said it, but this would be got to keep the offense on the field here, give that defense a break after that long drive. And down 2 scores, Western Brown will get the ball after halftime. So if you can punch it in here and make it a 1-score game and then not leave them enough time or get a stop on the defensive end to keep them out of the end zone, you'd be right where you want to be as Western Brown with a chance to try to tie it up. But first things first here, a 4th down and 1 close to midfield. If they don't get it, would be pretty good field position for Miami Trace with all 3 timeouts and 4.5 minutes to go. So a big point in the game right here on a 4th and 1.
Yeah, it's a big momentum play for whichever team maintains possession here. If Miami Trace is able to get off the field here on 4th down, like you said, great field position for them and plenty of time on that clock to get down the field. But Western Brown with a chance here, convert, run some more clock off, get it to a 1-score game, and then, like you said, get that ball in the second half with a chance to tie it up. This is a huge play in the game.
And we'll see what Coach Osborne decides to do. I mean, they've had success running the ball, but Bradford's done a nice job too. He's been, throwing at a pretty high completion percentage. Has had some really nice throws over the middle. Peyton Day's been involved in this one a lot with a touchdown and a couple of big plays. Valdez kind of getting his footing going now here. So a big 4th down and 1 coming up as Western Brown trots back to the ball. Ball's over towards the left hash mark, not quite all the way over there on the left hash mark. On the 42, they need the 41 for a 1st down. Bradford in the shotgun. 1 receiver on either side. Fakes the handoff. Bradford's going to run it to the left. Has enough for the 1st down, and he's going to go forward down to almost the 35. They're going to spot him on the 36. So nice job by Bradford to get to the edge and move the chains for Western Brown.
Yeah, pulled one out of Miami Trace's playbook there. Went with the quarterback off the read with that inside run from Morgan. Bradford had all kind of room on that that left side of the offense. Gets around, maybe picks up about 5 on that play as well.
So it'll be 1st and 10 down to the 37 rather is where they're going to spot him. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Western Brown driving the football here after the good special teams play from Miami Trace to drop him inside the 20. They've got a good drive going here. Hands it to Morgan. Morgan cuts it back to the right and keeps the momentum forward down inside the 35. So they're going to spot him about the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
And Morgan just great vision. I mean, he had that left side. It looked like he wanted to go off tackle off that left side outside the hash there, and the end just collapsed upfield, cut underneath of him, able to pick up a couple of yards there. That's one of those plays that could have gone if he goes outside. The end maybe makes that play, and it's a tackle for loss, but now he picks up 3.
And Zayden Nichols checks in for Western Brown, and Harmon checks out. I don't want to speculate, but he ran off the field kind of dangling that left arm. Didn't really swing his left arm as he was running off the field, so hopefully Harmon's going to be all right. 2nd and 7, 3:10 to go in the first half. Bradford has some pressure, steps up through it. Now he's going to run, and he's going to slide down inside the 30. He's going to be close. I think they're going to spot him right at the 30 where his slide started, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down. It looks to be about 3.
Yeah, great play from Bradford. Pocket collapsed quick, able to step up, evade that pressure, and keep that drive alive. Picks up about 5 on that play now, 3rd and short for this offense.
And Bradford looked like every quarterback in the NFL there. He slid and got touched just a little bit, and he was wanting the play. Those quarterbacks love to get that extra yardage. 2:35 to go. They'll go empty this time. 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Bradford's going to run it. Going behind Gibbs. Has room on the right side. Cuts it back up the middle. Bradford down inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Another nice run by Bradford. Now he's getting the legs going. That'll move the chains for Western Brown.
Yeah, I think he's starting to get that confidence rolling after that first drive. He got stuffed on one of his run attempts there, or a couple of them there, but now he's feeling it. Got the 4th down conversion, now a 3rd down conversion. Keep those chains moving inside the 20.
So just over 2 minutes to go in the half. Western Brown still does have a timeout. Miami Trace has all 3 of their timeouts. Miami Trace still leads 21-7, but Western Brown putting a nice drive together now down inside. They're going to spot him all the way on the 17-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Empty set again, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Bradford takes the snap, running it again. Going off that right side, has room. Bradford into the second half of the defense, spins inside the 5, can't quite get into the goal, or the end zone rather, over the goal line, but it's going to be 1st and goal inside the 5. Another nice run by Bradford.
Another design run, and they collapse the defensive front down from the right side to the left side, gave Bradford a huge running lane. Looks like Bradford may have taken a shot on the lower leg there. He's limping just a little bit in the backfield as he's getting the call from Coach Osborne, but he's going to stick this one out.
Tackle was made by Cooper Enoch, who scored the touchdown earlier. The outside linebacker brought him down, but not before he got all the way down to the 3-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal for Western Brown with 1:15 to go in this first half. Bradford ready for the shotgun snap, hands it to Morgan. Morgan cuts it back to the right, spins, trying to fight for extra yardage and can't get there, and maybe even goes back for a 1-yard loss. It looks like maybe back to the 4-yard line or maybe back to the original line of scrimmage where it's going to be 2nd and goal with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, nothing going there. Miami Trace just packing the box now. Western Brown's been running the ball a lot to start this ball game, especially from what they're used to seeing from them on film.
So Bradford will stay in the shotgun. Morgan off his left hip, have 2 receivers bunched wide out to the left. Ball's over on the right hash mark. They're going to say it was no gain, so back to the 3. 36 seconds to go. Western Brown taking their time. Don't want to leave the Panthers any time if they do punch one in here. And now a penalty flag flies in from the side, and it looks like a false start is going against Western Brown. So some movement is going to back them up 5 with 26 seconds to go. Is going to make this a little tougher now.
Yeah, definitely. It opens it up a little bit now. They've got a little more cushion. Field's not as compressed, but that changes the play call here because Coach Osborne probably could have run the ball there and try to get it in. You still have your 1 timeout left, but now you've got 8 yards to go for the touchdown, and the clock's still running.
Same formation here from Western Brown. They are going to run this one, hand it to Morgan. He trying to bounce out to the right, gets slung down, and that's big Guthrie in there, slams him down to the turf. And now Coach Osborne's going to have to take his time out. So I'm not sure he got much on that one, maybe nothing at all. Might even be a loss. So big Adam Guthrie gets in there and slung him down like a rag doll. So the run play goes nowhere, and 15 seconds to go, and now out of timeouts. Western Brown, we'll see what they do. If they don't get it here on 3rd down, you could kick a field goal to make it a 21-10 ball game, or try to get a field goal. But I would think, at this point in the season where they're at, Coach Osborne probably going to try to 2 plays here if they don't get it on the first one.
More than likely, yeah, he's probably going to go for it on 4th down, especially if they're able to gain some yards. But without having that timeout, you almost have to go for the end zone in this situation because if you get tackled inbounds, plays 4 or 5 seconds, and trying to get reset in 10 seconds with the ball placement from the officials, sometimes those can take 10, 12 seconds. So it'd be really tight trying to get that fourth down play.
Well, I think, we've seen Bradford in these situations kind of extend the play a little bit. He seems like he really likes to slide out to his left and then kind of throw it back over the middle of the field. He's done that pretty well here tonight. We've seen Peyton Day with a big touchdown reception to go up high and get one. So, again, we'll see what Coach Osborne dials up here. So they're going to mark him with a 1-yard loss back to the 9 where it's going to be 3rd and goal. But like you said, I think has to be a shot to the end zone or right at the goal line where if it does fall incomplete, you'd have a chance to run one more play or kick a field goal. Like you said, if they go down in the field of play, I just don't think there's going to be enough time to get up there and spot it and run another 4th down play. So we'll see. Bradford in the empty set. Ready for the snap. Takes it. Looking to his right. Now runs up the middle. Bradford has some room. Bradford trying to fight for the goal line. Puts his head down, moving the feet. And Bradford turning the legs. No signal yet, and he's in for the touchdown. Tough run by Dion Bradford. He saw the left side open up, and it was close. He got right to the goal line, but Bradford does a nice job turning the legs and punches it in with 6 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, he knew he had to get in there. He got stuck maybe about the 2-yard line, but like you said, kept those legs churning. Some of his teammates come in there to help push that pile and get him across that goal line for 6. Now it's a 1-score game.
Naomi Cover on to kick the extra point. Snaps back, holds down, and a short kick goes off to the left side, so that one's going to be no good for Cover. So it's an 8-point game instead of 7, but still a 1-score game, 21-13. 6 seconds to go. We'll just keep it here with only 6 seconds left. But a big answer drive there by Western Brown. They're going to get the ball back after halftime, down 8 still. But, you got to be happy with it being a 1-score game when early in the game it was 14-0. Miami Trace scored really quick on a couple of one-play drive there. And, this is kind of reminiscent of last week. It looked like Jackson was going to run out really quick, and then Western Brown was able to fight their way back and now put themselves in a really good spot here to get the ball to start the second half. Still 6 seconds. You never know on the kickoff here, but we'll see what they're able to do.
Well, and the best thing about that, they get the 4th down conversion. There was about 4.5 minutes left on the clock at that time, so they're able to use almost all of that and eliminate pretty much anything that Miami Trace would be able to do on the offensive end here, like you said, barring anything from the special teams on this play.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jetter kick this one out of bounds on purpose. I mean, they've got a couple of pretty good return men back there. You never know. The kickoff coverage has been good for Western Brown. So maybe you just squib one down the middle and try to run as much of that 6 seconds off as you can so they only get one chance at it maybe. We'll see what they decide to do. Jetter's got it teed up and comes up slow to the ball. He's going to kick a line drive down the middle, and it bounces off a Miami Trace player. He's able to scoop it up, coming towards the sideline, and now has one man to beat, and Jetter's going to do a nice job able to knock him out of bounds, and that's going to run. The good news for that is it runs a timeout, so that tackle was made by number 2, Raiden Lang, along with the kicker, Jetter, able to run him out of bounds. So at halftime, it's going to be a 21-13 ball game. Miami Trace still leads. So Western Brown able to cut into that lead here, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. We will take a break, and we'll have our Health Source of Ohio halftime report coming up right after this on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained, because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref.
That's simple human sense.
Your local auto owner's agent is Cooper Tarvin Insurance. Call 513-752-9960 or visit ctinsurance.net.
Again, the score at halftime, 21-13. Miami Trace still leads. Western Brown puts together a big touchdown drive. The extra point was no good there to cap it off, but puts together a big touchdown drive to cut into that lead. They'll get the ball to start the second half as the Miami Trace marching band will march out onto the field and perform their halftime show. And, I don't envy those guys. They got the full long pants, all black pants and jackets on out there tonight. Western Brown band opted for the shorts and T-shirt look, but the Miami Trace band going full gear here, putting on a good halftime show, and then Western Brown will be out after them. But again, a really big answer drive there for Western Brown. It's another one of those games where, again, I said it before, it feels very, very similar to last week. Miami Trace jumped out early, 14-0. That's one of those times when you're 0-4, you start feeling sorry for yourself a little bit, and you kind of turn it in. But Western Brown did not do that. They answered back with a touchdown. And then Miami Trace went on another long touchdown drive, but Western Brown able to cap one there at the end. Bradford with a really tough run to punch it in from the 9-yard line. And we got ourselves a one-score game here going into halftime.
Yeah, really tight ball game. It's been, pretty clean as far as penalties, too, from what we've seen from Western Brown and some of their opponents early on in the ball game. But, both teams, these last few series, getting it done offensively. Miami Trace, there's only been 3 series for each teams on the offensive end. Miami Trace has scored every time. Western Brown has scored on 2 of them now. And Western Brown, like I said, able to run that clock out on the last series, put some points on the board, and they put themselves in position. Now it's a one-score game, so they'll have a chance coming out of the half to tie this thing up.
So, again, score here at halftime, 21-13 in favor of the Miami Trace Panthers. Western Brown will receive that second half kick. Again, I don't want to brag too much, but 2 weeks in a row of seeing that coin flip, we're breaking some records here. So we even saw that, and Miami Trace opted to receive that first kick. Turned it into points, and again, it's been an exciting game here so far. So again, your score at halftime, 21-13 in favor of Miami Trace. We will take a short break, and we'll have more of our Health Source of Ohio halftime report right after this on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, Our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Bachelor Tractor.
C103 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From Shack basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer!
to Shack baseball,
Wells is going to drive. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown football
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
to Shack volleyball,
Hatton for the kill, it's good.
local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Southern State Community College celebrates 50 years of educating our community. From humble beginnings, Southern State has evolved to become a cornerstone of accessible education, offering flexible learning that includes a growing number of online classes and fully online programs. Southern State Community College empowers you to succeed quickly with a very affordable tuition rate when compared to many four-year institutions. Call 800-628-7722 or apply online at sscc.edu.
Highlands County Senior Citizen Center's annual Senior Expo is Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with free bingo to follow. Over 60 businesses from Highland and surrounding counties will be there providing valuable information for seniors. Mark your calendar for this event. Enjoy a live band, costume contest, tons of free giveaways and prizes. The event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for raffles and lunch. The public is invited to attend this valuable resource fair and fun. See you Tuesday, October 7th.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Matt Scott, Johnny Enox, Brian White, and Mike Wilson. Their equipment manager is Joey Steele, and their administrative team superintendent, Kim Pitzer, high school principal Ryan Davis, assistant principal Jim Haddert, athletic director Aaron Hammond, assistant athletic director Mike Bernard, and athletic trainer Taylor Priest. Their cheerleaders are Callie Connell, Ashlyn Davis, Chloe Gardner, Carly Hicks, Lainey Holston, Peyton Johnson, Callie Kirkpatrick, Abby Kovalacek, Riley McLean, Abby Noble, Kaylin Pinwell, Aubrey Pfeiffer, Emily Phillips, Peyton Pitzer, and Savannah Rose. And their advisors are Shireen Daughtery and Jade Atkinson. And for the Western Brown side, coaching staff, head coach Nick Osborne. Assistant coaches are Chaz Patton, Heath Simmons, Taver Mowry, Sean Mowry, Cody Wilson, Jim White, Noah Brown, Eric Brewer, Travis Taylor, Dustin Dean, Aaron Chase, Austin Huff, Larry Harmon, Ryan Roush, Matthew Osborne, and Gary Powell. And on their administrative team, Superintendent Rigg and White, head principal Heather Cooper, assistant principal and assistant athletic director Jeff Herman, the athletic director Mr. Tim Cook, equipment manager Byron Whitaker, team photographer Olivia Baird, trainer Melissa Loy, and team doctor Andrew Kaufhoff. And the cheerleaders are Aaliyah Carter, Aubrey Lineberger, Drew Fight, Lucy Veason, Ave Lineberger, Jenna Brown, Kaylin Wagner, Kira Roberts, Natalie Spence, Belle Joseph, Corin Ryan, Caden Swatto, Peyton Snediger, Stella Keller, Zuri Nichols, and Kentley Neal. And their coaches are Cassidy Taylor and Tanya Carter. So again, big shout out to those people, especially those administrative teams. A lot of, things behind the scenes, and I know I can speak for the Western Brown side of things here, and the effort and the amount of time that Mr. Tim Cook and Jeff Herman put in here for these games to go smoothly. And These I want to give it. We don't have names. We're on the opposite side of the clock operator and everything, but give a shout out to the officials here tonight too as well. Been a clean ball game, not a lot of penalties. So they, first couple of games, those referees' arms had to be sore the next day. They were throwing all kinds of penalty flags everywhere, but things are cleaning up now as we get into the middle of the season. But again, a big shout out to all those people who make these Friday night lights possible. And I think a lot of people would be very surprised at the amount of effort that goes into running these, working the gates and concession stands and equipment and all those types of things. And, Coach Osborne's talked about it as well, all the technology that's involved in this now with the drones and the huddle cameras and all these different things that all these teams are doing to try to gain an edge. I can't even imagine what it's like at the Division I or professional level, what the kind of technology that they're throwing out there. So big shout out to all those people that make these nights possible. 10:40 to go here at halftime. We'll take another break, and Rob will have some scores and stats for you after this on 99.5 The Edge and GoodGuysRadioTV.com.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained, because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref.
That's simple human sense.
Your local auto owner's agent is Cooper Tarvin Insurance. Call 513-752-9960 or visit ctinsurance.net.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
C103, 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Welcome back in here, Western Brown High School. Just under 9 minutes to go at halftime. And the Miami Trace Band did their halftime performance. Now the Western Brown Marching Band is out there doing their performance. And I know we've said this before multiple times, and we will have a night, maybe on senior night or another night, where we give a shout out to all those band members. They go about 70 or 80 strong, so we will get a list of all the band members and give them some airtime as well at some point this season. But we've said this before. I don't know. I know nothing about this, but it just seems like they're so much louder than everybody else. They play so well. They do such a good job. Can't give them enough credit. But again, just the volume seems like it is higher than everyone else. Even if the band has more people than them, or I don't know. There's got to be some kind of reason for this. I'm going to have to figure this out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they are just have more confidence. They like you said, we were kind of walking in before the game, and we both talk about how much we love a band and how much it adds to the atmosphere. But they were kind of marching to the stadium as we were walking in, and you were just talking about how much they drill and practice, and how their band instructor kind of feels like a coach out there for them, and he can be intense at times, but sometimes that's what it takes to run a great program, and this band they're incredible. I mean, I love listening to them every Friday night. They travel with the team everywhere they go, and they have a lot of things that they do, moving parts during their routines, and a lot of dancing and all that. It takes a lot of time to get that down to military precision. They're so fun to watch.
Yeah, I come over here a couple times a week for some basketball stuff after school, and their practice field is kind of like behind where we're at right now, across the street over here by closer to the high school. And they got a couple, yard lines painted out there. And as soon as I pull up, I can hear them with the bullhorn out there on the 40, so they are out there drilling it. And, I know from some of the parents that I know that have kids that are in the band, how much they put into this and how much pride they take into it. So again, we can't give them enough credit. And like I said, at some point we will get a list of the band roster and read them out for you guys. But I'm going to hand it back over to Robin. I think he's got some of those games from across the league and some big ones going on across Cincinnati here tonight.
Yeah, we've got a lot of big games in the tri-state area going on right now. But I'll start with those SBAAC teams. Batavia at Bethel, that one tied at 0 right now. And some of these scores might not be accurate because Western Brown did get to halftime pretty quick in this one. Wilmington at Chillicothe, that one tied at 6-6. Cincinnati Country Day at Claremont Northeastern. CCD up 14-0 on that one. Monroe at Clinton Massey leading 21-6. Gamble Montessori at East Clinton, that one tied at 0. Blanchester at Goshen all over that, 36-0. New Richmond at Roger Bacon taking care of business 35-3. And McLean at Williamsburg, that one also tied at 0. I'll try to get some updates on those as we go. And then moving on to some of the other action in the tri-state, LaSalle at Withrow. That one's a big, I believe both teams in the Division II there. LaSalle leading 17-6. Another D2 matchup, Anderson at Kings, two of the top teams in the state in that division. Anderson down 7-10. Elder at Louisville St. X. Elder losing 10-14. Tight ball game there. St. X Cincinnati leading Moeller trailing Moeller 13-14 at the half. Princeton over Lakota East right now 14-0. West Claremont at Milford. West Claremont leading 21-14. And then over the river, Ryle and Highlands playing. That one's a tight one. Highlands leading 14-10 in that one.
Well, I talked about earlier that Western Brown opted for the shorts and the T-shirt, the polo look here for the band. I can see why, man. Like you said, they're dancing around out there. They got to be worn out by the time they get done with this halftime show. And I know the sun is kind of set here, but on that turf down there, it's still pretty warm. It still absorbs a lot of that heat, so still radiating some heat. They got to be putting in, we might have to worry about some of these band members cramping out there instead of the football players. They do all kinds of dance moves, and I think at one point they kind of put the instruments down and do the splits there, and I might not be able to make the band just because I can't do the splits, but it's always a fun show. So if you're watching on Good Guys, they're getting ready to do that here right now. But again, a 21-13 game here, and it's one of those things. This is what Coach Osborne's been talking about. They put together a pretty good first half here. Now they're going to get the ball to come out in the second half. Can they put together a good second half where they don't run out of gas, where they're able to stay above in front of the sticks? If they can get down there and tie this thing up, who knows what can happen. But if you come out, you have a quick 3-and-out, you turn it over, something like that, and then the Panthers can march down the field and score again. Now you put yourself in a big hole. Then you got to start taking chances you maybe wouldn't normally take. You can't control the clock as much, those types of things. So this first drive for Western Brown is going to be huge. This would be huge for them to be able to get their first win here on a Friday night in their final non-conference game.
Yeah, it really would, and they've got momentum rolling right now. They're the last team to score in this one. They get the ball to start the second half, so this is going to be a huge first drive for this team and really determine where the second half is going to go. Defensively for the Broncos, they've got to figure out a way to get off the field. Haven't really been able to get Miami Trace in any of those real tough third down situations. Anytime they have, they've been able to convert in those and going 3 drives, 3 scores. That's huge for Miami Trace and staying on the field offensively, really wearing down that Western Brown defense like you talked about. So we'll see how that plays a factor too in the second half and how much that Western Brown defense was on the field early on in that game. But the offense, again, has to take advantage of this situation here with a chance to tie it up coming out of halftime.
And this one may come down to a turnover. If you see those games sometimes at the college level, the professional level. If you're having trouble getting stops, sometimes those defenses that are gritty and can poke one out or can come up with a fall on one at the right time. And last week against Jackson, Western Brown had terrible luck. I think Jackson put the ball on the ground twice and were able to get on it. There was a play in the end zone there where it was tipped up in the air, and the Jackson receiver was able to dive on it the last second. So if Western Brown can just get a break or two here, I think it would do a lot for their confidence if they can tie it up or see them score on that first drive and be in a ball game here late. Not saying that they haven't been in these games, but, Jackson pulled away there in that third quarter last week. If they can just get that momentum going, get some confidence, sometimes you know you're good enough to win, but you have to see it to kind of believe it. And I think if they can do that and get a win here tonight, what a momentum shift that would be going into conference play next week against Wilmington.
Yeah, and it's a very similar situation to last week as well. They had a chance at halftime to bring it to a one-score game, getting the ball to start the second half. They go 3 and out. Jackson gets the ball, scores immediately, and stretches that lead to 3 scores. And from there, the game was kind of over at that point. So similar situation, but obviously Western Brown wants to come out with a different result in this one, and a one-score tighter game here, and really, really good chance against this team who they've been able to drive the ball in their last 2 series. You're going to have limited series against this team because, Miami Trace utilizes a lot of that play clock. Going to be similar to what we see from some of these SPC opponents and Clinton Massey and probably Goshen, 2 teams that like to run the ball a lot. So this is something that they're going to see later on in the season, but only having 3 series in the first half is pretty wild. I think most games so far this season they've had at least 5. So 40% fewer opportunities on the offensive end.
All right, so both teams are coming back out from their locker rooms, kind of getting their second half warm-ups going. We'll take one final short break, and we'll come back, and Rob will do some stats to wrap up our halftime report. We'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Southern State Community College celebrates 50 years of educating our community. From humble beginnings, Southern State has evolved to become a cornerstone of accessible education, offering flexible learning that includes a growing number of online classes and fully online programs. Southern State Community College empowers you to succeed quickly with a very affordable tuition rate when compared to many four-year institutions. Call 800-628-7722 or apply online at sscc.edu.
Highlands County Senior Citizen Center's annual Senior Expo is Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with free bingo to follow. Over 60 businesses from Highland and surrounding counties will be there providing valuable information for seniors. Mark your calendar for this event. Enjoy a live band, costume contest, tons of free giveaways and prizes. The event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for raffles and lunch. The public is invited to attend this valuable resource fair and fun. See you Tuesday, October 7th.
2 penalties. One of those was on special teams, totaling 20 yards. And then offensively for the Broncos, 7 first downs, so getting that ability to move the ball on this team. And then 4 for 6 on third down conversions, 1 for 1 on fourth down. So doing a good job getting those chains moving. They struggled early on in those first couple games of getting any third down conversions, but now they're in the positive, 4 for 6 now on third down and 1 for 1 on fourth down. And 1 penalty on the false start for 5 yards. Defensively for the Panthers, 3 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, and 1 special teams penalty for 15 yards on the kickoff out of bounds. So not a whole lot to report for either team stat-wise, but the biggest thing is turnovers. You knock those down on the offensive end for Western Brown, and you're limiting your penalties as well on the offensive and defensive end. So this is probably their cleanest game so far on both sides of the ball.
So Western Brown will receive that second half kick to get things started here. They trail still 21-13. And again, they're going to try to put together a drive. We saw them put together a really good drive. We were kind of talking there in the break. I think it was about 6 or 7 minutes there at the end of that second quarter. They were able to take it down and almost run it all the way out. Left 6 seconds on the clock. And when Bradford was able to punch it in. And, again, this would be a big confidence boost. Anything can happen. You get this thing to 21-21 or if you don't get the 2-point conversion, at least get it to a less than 1 score game, essentially. It would be a big confidence boost. But the defense is going to have to find a way to come up with a stop or a turnover or something. They've Miami Trace is loaded there on the offensive end as far as some of those backs, Cooper Enox and Mr. Julian Baker, and Phipps is obviously a capable runner as well. So going to be a tough sled for the defense, but if they can come up with a couple of stops, this one could get real interesting.
Yeah, and like I said, they're not going to get many opportunities because Miami Trace is going to continue to utilize that clock. They're playing with a lead, but they even did it in the first half when there was no score on the game. So keeping that ball on the ground and utilizing a lot of that play clock. 3 series so far for both teams offensively.
So Miami Trace is going to kick this one away. Greg Liming, Rob Bowman with you here. Carson Inman back in the studio. Brandon Rigdon up top on the camera for GoodGuysRadioTV.com. Check us out over there if you're in a safe place to do so. They're going to kick it away. Line drive kick is going to be bounced around the 20. It's going to be scooped up on the far side. That's Carson Parker. He's going to try to reverse field, able to fight through the initial tackle, but not going to be able to get away. But out past the 20 to about the 23-yard line is where they'll start their first drive here the second half. And we didn't see Loudermilk out there. We did see him getting checked over here on the trainer's table. So Loudermilk, so far, I don't see number 11 anywhere, as Parker was back that time to receive the kick. So Loudermilk's night, unfortunately, looks like it might be finished.
And Parker and Justin Morgan back there on the return, too. 2 guys we haven't really seen back on the kickoff return team. So a couple new faces back there. We'll see how that affects the offense as well as usually a couple receivers back there for the Broncos.
So it's going to be first down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Western Brown is headed from left to right on your radio dial in this third quarter, over towards the Mount Orr Middle School in that south end zone. It'll be kind of a tight formation for Western Brown. They do line up 2 receivers out wide down here on the far side towards their own sideline. Morgan in the backfield with Bradford. Bradford takes the snap, hands it to Morgan, bounces it out to the right, able to get through that first tackle. Now comes back into the middle. Morgan still going with a big run all the way up to the 40-yard line. Nice run by Justin Morgan. It's going to be about a 16-yard run on the first play, and a good start for the Western Brown offense.
Yeah, nice hole opened up for him, able to get upfield, and he was about 12 yards down the field before that initial contact, able to fight through that and lays a big hit, too, to end it.
Hit a really nice jump cut to the right there, and got a little help from Valdez. Valdez kind of did one of those run in there and just kind of get in the way. Couldn't block anyone because it looked like he was going to be able to, was going to push him in the back, but able to get in the way of the defender just enough to get a few extra yards. So they'll flip formation this time, 2 on the left. Bradford takes a shotgun snap, hands it to Morgan, jump cut again to the right. This time not a lot of room to go, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. As the Panthers are ready on that one. Number 57 in on that tackle. I don't have a number 57. Number 53, rather, Cam Morton.
And Morgan's having to do a lot in the backfield, those jump cuts about 2 yards deep, and does just enough to get back to that line of scrimmage. Miami Trace has had some good initial penetration getting in those gaps, but Morgan's done a great job of evading those initial tackle attempts.
So second down and 10 from the 40. Now Morgan will kind of shift back as Day goes in motion across the formation. Bradford fakes a handoff, now looking to throw, has some pressure, steps out. Now he will find Peyton Day over on that far sideline, makes a nice cut move all the way up right at the 50-yard line. I think that's going to be enough for the first down. See where they spot it. But a nice job by Peyton Day to get upfield. And that is going to move the chains for Western Brown.
Yeah, nice play, nice connection there today. That's one of his outlets there Bradford has, and able to get upfield at just enough for that first down.
So they'll put it right just on the midfield line there on the left hash. That'll move the chains for Western Brown. It'll be first down and 10 with 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Same formation. They just kind of keep flipping it back and forth whichever side the ball's on. 2 receivers bunched on the right. Bradford takes the snap, hands it to Morgan. Morgan coming off the right side, able to stiff arm a tackler, goes up to the 45, pushing the pile still, moving backwards, and Morgan all the way down inside the 40. And I think he's going to have enough for another first down. Another tough run by Morgan. Again, he is not a very big kid, but he keeps those legs moving and moves the pile again.
No, and again, back to the vision from him. He does these jump cuts, and it's almost like he has 2 sets of eyes, able to see the defender, but still keep his eyes down the field to follow those blocks. And he's got a guy on his hip. It looks like they're going to make the tackle, and he just gives him the slightest stiff arm, able to shed that and get upfield for 11 yards on the carry.
Coach Osborne's talked about his athletic ability and how he can change the game. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy the past couple of years, but here he is as a senior making a big impact here tonight. Bradford will hand another one to Morgan, bounces it to the right again, another cut, and gets chopped down around the 37-yard line, but will fall forward for a positive gain, but it's going to be second long.
Yeah, not a lot going there. Got hit in the backfield and able to fall forward for about maybe a half yard. I think that's all they're going to give him there, but every other play it seems like about nothing gained, and then 5, 10, 12 yards. 3 first downs now for this Bronco offense to start this second half.
And so far, no big Adam Guthrie on this drive so far. I would assume we'll see him check in at some point, especially if Western Brown continues to kind of ground and pound here. 8:40 to go. Day goes in motion again, fakes a handoff. Bradford now looks to his left, steps out of some pressure, rolls out to his left, now throws it back towards the right, and just out of the reach, trying to get it to Justin Morgan. It will fall incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 now for the Western Brown offense.
That might be the first incompletion for him throwing the ball tonight. He's done a great job of finding those targets. That one was a really difficult throw, rolled out of the pocket to the left and threw across the field to the right, just out of reach for Morgan.
Yeah, not many. I think there was one that almost got intercepted. So I think that might be the second. I think you're right. It's only 1 or 2, but he's had a great night. They haven't thrown it a ton, but when they have, they've been very successful. But it's a 3rd and 9 here. They'll go empty this time, 3 on the left, 2 on the right. Bradford in the shotgun right about the 44-yard line, ready for the snap. He's going to run this one. Bradford goes off that left side, following a block, able to bounce around, fighting for some yards. It's going to be really close, and I think he's got it. They're going to move the chains. Another shifty run by Bradford on a 3rd and long. He's able to move the chains.
And that was one of those play calls where Coach Osborne says, we're going for this one, so let's see what we can get on the quarterback draw. And Bradford does enough. You see his confidence building with his legs throughout the game, and he's just seeing those running lanes open up. He's got a good one to model after in Justin Morgan, but Bradford's been doing a great job on the ground.
So they're going to spot him inside the 30 at the 29. 8 minutes to go in the third. Western Brown putting together a nice drive here to start this second half. Day goes in motion across the formation again. Bradford takes a snap, looking to throw. He's going to throw it, has a man, tries to go up and get it, and just out of the reach. Pass was intended for Adam Pena. That'll fall incomplete. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
A good play design, though. Pena running that post or corner route. Had him wide open, but just led him a little bit too much. Good play call, good look, just a little bit overthrown.
So that'll be 2nd down and 10 now. Clock stops with 7:49 to go in the third. Back to the similar formation we've seen a lot before. Morgan behind Bradford in the backfield. 2 receivers lined up on the left. Takes the snap. Morgan cuts it and now tries to go back up the middle, and he's got nowhere to go. And it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 now coming up for Western Brown. Another big 3rd down for this Bronco offense.
And Panthers are ready for that one. I think that one went for maybe a slight loss on the play, and they were all over that one. Morgan had nowhere to go.
So 7:26 to go in this third quarter. Broncos trying to answer, cut into that 21-13 lead that Miami Trace still holds currently. 17 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers on the right. Day will go in motion again. Bradford ready for the snap. Rolls out to his right. Looking to throw. Has it complete to Peyton Day. Cuts it upfield. Puts his head down. Goes through some tacklers. And I think Peyton Day is going to have enough for the 1st down. So another nice, finding some success with that kind of motion on the offense. Peyton Day is having himself a nice football game here.
Yeah, he's becoming one of those favorite targets for Bradford, and he does a great job, too, after the catch, getting upfield and fighting through those tackles. Probably could have had more. Elijah Valdez standing out there. He wasn't sure who to block on that play, but does enough to keep the chains moving and keep the drive alive.
And the junior tight end goes 6'2", 215, a big target for Bradford. And he scored a touchdown here already and had a couple of big catches on this drive. Bradford will go in the shotgun again. Morgan off to his left hip. Day over on the left side of the line. 2 receivers bunched out wide to the left. Bradford takes a snap, hands it to Morgan, cuts it back up the middle, goes backwards, and now is going to be brought down, but does go forward for a nice gain on 1st down. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like he's down around the 14-yard line. So they're giving him about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
I think the Western Brown coaches were thinking they may have been a face mask there. We've got a Bronco offensive lineman a little bit slow getting back to the huddle, but that one they got him around the back of the jersey. It looked like it may have been the back of the helmet, but
yeah, that's number 52, Brandon Marsh, the center for these Broncos. Little gimpy on that left side, but he's able to get back up there. Bradford in the shotgun, 5:52 to go in the third. Bradford hands it off to Morgan. Morgan bounces it out to the right, trying to follow some blocks. And now the Panthers rally to the football. Does go forward for a positive gain. I think they're going to spot him right around the 10-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, nice, another patient run. Morgan had to bounce that one way outside and able to pick up a few yards there. Now 3rd and short for this offense. And definitely 2-down territory for Coach Osborne.
So they call it on the 11-yard line. They're going to call it 3rd down and 3. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Western Brown putting together a heck of a drive here to start this second half. Would be huge if they can punch this one in. Another 3rd down that the Bronco offense is trying to convert. Day goes in motion again. Bradford rolls to his left. Looking to Day. Has it complete. Inside the 10. He's going to be pushed back. But I think he's going to have enough for the 1st down. We'll see where they spot him with forward progress. And it looks like they are going to spot him inside the line they need for the 1st down. So it's going to be 1st and goal with 5 minutes to go.
That's their 6th 1st down on this drive. 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions as well. Now 1st and goal from the 7.
So, again, Peyton Day having himself a heck of a drive here. Has had the one-handed touchdown grab earlier. 4:45 to go. Western Brown trying to punch it in and possibly tie this thing up. Ball's over on the left hash mark. Morgan in the backfield with Bradford. 2 receivers bunched on the right. Bradford ready for the snap. Takes it, hands it to Morgan. Morgan goes back to the right, trying to fight out through a tackler. Drags the tackler down to about the 5-yard line. So the ball was spotted on the 8, so that's going to be about a 3-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 5.
And not a whole lot going. It looked like he had some room, but got caught from behind. Tried to bounce it to the outside. If he was able to get there, I think he may have gone in, but drugged down for just a 2 or 3 yard gain.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 5 with under 4 minutes to go in this third quarter by the time they get this thing snapped. Same formation, or a little bit different formation now as Valdez will line up a little closer inside now. Harmon out wide to the right. Day goes in motion. Bradford takes a snap, rolls to his right. Tucks it down, looking to run. He's going to tuck it down, spins at the goal line, and big Adam Guthrie slams him down to the turf. He's going to be short of the goal. I think they're going to spot him on about the 2-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and goal as Guthrie came in there and threw him down again just short of the goal line.
Yeah, and if it weren't for his 6'7" frame, I don't think he would have been able to tackle him, but he got that arm out there and able to bring him down. Bradford tried to cut back underneath of him and still able to pick up a couple yards, but Guthrie, man, he's got about a 7-foot wingspan out there.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 2, and I would have to assume that this is 2-down territory all day long for the Broncos, as long as there's, not a huge loss here on 1st down. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Broncos trying to punch it in, and now looks like Western Brown's going to spin their first time out. Coach Osborne didn't like what he saw. 3:01 to go here in the third, and this is a long, sustained drive for Western Brown. It's taken up almost the entire third quarter, and they've got a chance to punch it in here on 3rd and goal, and a 2-point conversion would tie it up if they can score. But it's been a heck of a drive to start this third quarter.
It really has, and 3 conversions on 3rd down now, 6 first downs. 2 chances here now at the 2-yard line to put it in. They've been pretty balanced as well on this drive, mainly running the ball, but they've had some throws in there to keep them honest, and we'll see what Coach Osborne draws up coming out of this timeout, but playbook's probably wide open with being at the 2-yard line.
Big crowd here tonight. Western Brown, again, it was youth night, Pee Wee football night here at Western Brown, so a lot of the youngsters out here in their uniforms maybe had to go home and get some sleep before the big games tomorrow. We'll see them. They might still, some of them still around here. I've seen a few in their jerseys still cheering on the Broncos. The Miami Trace, huge crowd, almost full stands over on the far side, on the visitor side from us across the way. So big crowd here on a Friday night. Again, Miami Trace undefeated coming into this game. Western Brown still looking for their first win of the season, and this would be a huge one if Western Brown can steal one here on a Friday night. Miami Trace has had some really close games. I think there was the Wilmington game was close. I think they beat Batavia like 7-6 type of game. So they've had some low-scoring kind of, hard-fought battles. And Western Brown is trying really hard to hand them their first loss of the season. But a 3rd and goal here from the 2. Bradford in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's looking to run this one now, bouncing back out to the right. And still going. They can't get him down. Bradford almost got there, but looked like it was going to be a pretty big loss. But I think he's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 4th and goal.
Yeah, tough run there. Just nothing going. Tried to go off that left side, and there was nothing to gain there. Probably would have lost 1 or 2. Bounce it back to the right and able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Bronco offense now taking their time getting the play in for this 4th down call.
So they'll mark him no gain back to the 2-yard line. 4th and goal, a big 4th down here for both sides. Western Brown trying to tie this thing up or get a chance to tie it up and punch it in. Miami Trace trying to bend and not break after a long drive from Western Brown. Empty set this time. Bradford's ready for the snap. He takes it. He's going to run it. And Bradford's fighting up the middle, reaching the ball out, and he's in for the touchdown. Another tough run by Bradford. It looked like he was going to be stopped short of the goal line, but he kept those legs moving, reached the ball out across the plane, and then we've got a 21-19 ball game.
And these are his first touchdown runs of the season. We've seen him run it a few times, but likes to keep it in the air. Coach Osborne, another designed quarterback draw up the middle. Bradford gets stuffed initially, but not wrapped up. He's able to spin off of that one and dive across the goal line for 6.
So now Western Brown going to try to tie this thing up with 2:06 to go in the 3rd. So they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. They missed that extra point on the final touchdown drive of the first half. So they're going to try to go for 2 and see if they can't tie this thing up. Big drive by Western Brown. Took up almost the entire 3rd quarter. And Bradford able to cap it off with a tough run. Day goes in motion again. Bradford takes a snap, rolling to his right, wants to throw it. Squares his shoulders late. Now he's going to kind of pop pass over and throws it over the head of Harmon as Bradford took a shot, a little slow getting up, so they won't be able to get the 2-point conversion and tie it up. But a big answer drive from Western Brown as they trail still 21-19. 2:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Welcome back in here. Western Brown caps off a long 10-minute almost touchdown scoring drive. Can't convert the 2-point conversion rather, so still down 2, 21-19. But a big drive by Western Brown and a big answer there to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, huge drive there. They get some conversions on 3rd down, and then the 4th down conversion for the touchdown. Bradford getting it done with his legs to finish that one off.
So Jetter's got it teed up on the 40-yard line, ready to kick it away for Western Brown. Line drive kick will go over towards the Western Brown sideline, and now it's going to be scooped up right about the 20 and cuts it back up the middle and able to get over to him. Good coverage on the kickoff team. Tackle there by, I think that's number 90 for the Broncos, or number 80 maybe, Michael Bowling. So get a big stop there as Coach Chaz Patton goes over and gives him a big chest bump on the sideline. So a big drive there. Again, don't forget to tune in for the telecast coverage of the Broncos this season on GoodGuysRadioTV.com and the Good Guys YouTube and Facebook pages. We'll bring you all of the home games on Good Guys and, of course, every game right here on 99.5 The Edge. So we were talking in the break, 2:01 to go in the 3rd. This Bronco defense going to have to come up with a way to get a stop. Got to get off the field, got to force a punt, a turnover, something here to try to keep that momentum going in their favor.
Yeah, definitely got to get off the field. Doesn't matter what happens.
Phipps in the shotgun, claps his hands. He's ready for the snap. Hands it off to Baker. No, keeps it himself. He's going to try to get back towards the sideline, cut it back up the middle, and able to turn kind of something out of nothing. As number 10 out there, Montana Wells, had a chance at him, but a good cut move by Phipps. Goes forward for about 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, really good cut. He had him in the backfield and just made a good move going to the outside, then cut it back up the middle. Able to pick up 7 on that play. It looked like it was going to go for about 2-yard loss.
We'll cover our team and individual stats and name our player of the game right after the conclusion of the game here. Be sure to stick around. Phipps in the shotgun, has 2 receivers lined up on the right. Baker in the backfield with him. He's going to hand this one to Baker up the middle. Baker tries to bounce it to the outside. Broncos are trying to chase him down, and now Dre Mitchell able to come up and make a hit, but keeps the legs turning. And I think Baker's going to have enough for the first down. It's going to be right about the line of the game, and they are going to spot him with a first down.
Yeah, just enough. Able to stretch that one across.
Julian Baker again. we have height on this roster for Miami Trace. Don't have weight, but he is a tough runner to bring down. He keeps those legs moving. He's got seems like a really, really good center of gravity, able to keep his balance. And for a big guy, really quick on his feet, able to make those jump cuts and sees the field really well. So he's a good runner here for these Panthers, and he's had a nice game here tonight. 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Phipps ready for the snap, takes it, hands this one off, coming this way. A flag flies in. No, actually, he kept it himself, fooled me again. I wouldn't be very good for this Bronco defense here, and I've been fooled about 4 or 5 times by Phipps, but penalty flag does come in. We'll check the penalty, but for now, pretty good game for Phipps.
Yeah, they look pretty basic in the backfield, but there's a lot of misdirection with some of these reads and all that they do back there, and Phipps does a great job of kind of waiting until the last second to pull some of these as we do get the false start called against the Miami Trace offense.
Well, you know, sometimes, just like right there, I think that's maybe their first offensive penalty or one of the only offensive penalties they've had, but when you have all those moving parts, sometimes that can kind of create a confusion on your own side. So that's going to back them up 5, so it'll still be first down, but it's going to be first down and 15. Now back inside the 45-yard line at the 42. 27 seconds to go here in the third quarter. This time 2 receivers lined up on the left. Ball's over on that right hash mark. Phipps in the shotgun, claps his hands, ready for the snap. He's going to pull this one down, faked it. Now he's going to throw it late out to Enox, trying to set up a block on the outside, cuts it back into the middle. Enox, Western Brown trying to rip that ball out. Enox keeps the feet turning down inside Western Brown territory. Not going to have quite enough for a first down, but it's going to bring up a second down and short.
Yeah, but he had a great RPO again called there. Enox runs through contact, tried to stretch that ball across to get the first down, but picks up a big chunk of yards and gains all that yard they lost on that last play.
So that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Score here is 21-19 in favor of Miami Trace. We'll take a break. Be right back with fourth quarter action right after this on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref.
That's simple human sense.
Your local auto owner's agent is Cooper Tarvin Insurance. Call 513-752-9960 or visit ctinsurance.net.
Welcome back in here. Miami Trace still has the football, second down and 1 rather, from the 44. Fourth quarter action here on 99.5. Baker trying to cut it to the outside, able to get a hold of him around the ankles and not let him go. That was number 1, Zayden Nichols, but I think he's going to fall forward. No, they're going to mark. Yeah, they're going to mark him with enough for the first down. So only needed a yard, got just about that. That'll move the chains.
Yeah, just enough. He got hit in the backfield again. Was getting held at the ankle and just able to get loose enough to dive across that goal or the first down marker.
And now the cheerleaders throwing out some mini footballs, and the Pee-wee football players are, I mean, like fourth down on a Saturday morning trying to score a touchdown, baby. They're diving all over the place. Phipps takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, pitches it out this time to Enox. Enox coming towards the sideline, and Nichols able to get him by a shoestring, and then Mitchell comes in and cleans it up. A nice play by the Western Brown defense to keep it a short gain on first down.
Yeah, really good. Another triple option off to that right side, and Western Brown had that one covered up really well.
I mean, this is like they're throwing out gold bars down here, man. This is mayhem in the stands. These kids want one of those footballs badly. Hey, I remember those days at basketball games when you were a kid, man. You were diving all over the place trying to get those things. And then, take them home and your dog chews them up in about 3 seconds. So, anyways, fun stuff for the kids on a Friday night. Some of those Broncos Pee-wee players will be right here on these Friday night lights before you know it. Phipps takes a snap. He's going to fake the handoff, going out to his left, and now he's got nowhere to go. Lakin Deal in there. Zayden Nichols again And Nichols is having a couple of nice plays here in a row as he's flying downhill and meets Phipps right about the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and long.
And Phipps tried to take that one to the outside, but they had that locked up. That edge contained, did a great job on that play. Phipps does just enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. And 3rd and long now for this Bronco defense and a chance to get off the field.
Well, again, thanks to our season sponsors, including Southern State Community College, First State Bank, and Baxlow Tractor Sales. Also, be sure to stay tuned for the Cooper Tarvin Insurance Coaches Comment Show right after the game. We'll recap tonight's matchup with Coach Nick Osborne. All right, 3rd and long here, 3rd and 9 from the 42, and now Western Brown going to spend their second time out as Coach Cody Wilson or Coach Osborne didn't like what they saw lined up there. And we haven't seen Miami Trace throw it a ton. I really don't think they've thrown one down the field at all. All of their throws have been either lateral or backwards. The one did go for a touchdown. I'm not saying that that Phipps isn't capable of throwing it. It's just not something they do. It's not their bread and butter. So if you can put them in these 3rd or 4th and long situations and force them to do that, we'll see what they're able to come up with here. Maybe they just go ahead and run it, and it's a 2-play kind of, they're going to go for it on 4th down either way. We'll see what they decide to do. But Western Brown with a chance here to get some pressure maybe and get off the field on a 3rd and long.
And that may be what the call was here on 3rd down, maybe anticipating a pass in this situation. But with the positive yardage now into Bronco territory, you would expect them to maybe keep it on the ground. But if they do throw it, maybe they do bring an extra pressure off the edge, bring Parker off the edge, and try to get a sack on this play and get off the field.
So we'll see what Coach Williams decides to do here on a 3rd and long. 9:56 to go in the ball game. Miami Trace still does lead by 2, 21-19 over Western Brown. And again, another great football game between these two programs. This one's going to come down to the wire. Phipps in the shotgun, has one receiver lined up out wide to the right. Phipps takes the snap, going to pitch it out to Enoch. He's going to throw it, and now has a man downfield, a little trick play, and gets behind the defense, and that's going to go for a touchdown. What a play call, number 80, Jansen Smith, as Julian Baker has now run a touchdown and thrown one. So Coach Williams dials up the trick play, and it pays the dividends, and they're able to punch it in for a touchdown to make it 27-19.
Yeah, what a play call in the situation. It looked like a run on the toss all the way, and blown coverage there as Smith's able to get behind. He had about 10 yards head start on Dre Mitchell there and crosses that goal line. But more importantly, converted the 3rd down initially, but they get points on the board too. Now it's a one-score game, full-score game.
Extra kicks on the way. It's up and good. And that will make it a 28-19 ball game. So after the missed extra point and the failed 2-point conversion, we get a 9-point game. So still a 2-score game now again for Western Brown. 9:47 to go, still a lot of time. We'll take a break. We'll be back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxlow Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxlow Tractor.
Welcome back here as Miami Trace puts a big one on the board, 7 more to make it 28-19. The trick play pays off there for Coach Williams. We were talking, that was a heck of a throw from Julian Baker. It's got to be hard to throw the ball with those gloves on, as sticky as they are, but he threw a nice one down the field, and they punched it in for 7 more.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier, too, when the DB kind of runs up to and run support there, and you can just float it up there and let your guy run underneath of it. But what a play call on 3rd and long. And to get the score on it, too, is even sweeter for Coach Williams.
So Western Brown still have a timeout, down by 9. They're going to have to try to score quickly so they can leave themselves enough time to try to get a stop, get the ball back. End-over-end kick is going to be fielded. That's going to bounce and check up, and now they're just going to kind of have to fall on it. Now the ball pops out, and a big, big turnover for Western Brown as Miami Trace is able to fall on it. And that was Carson Parker over there. He let it bounce. He tried to go up and get it. And that is going to be a bad, bad break for these Broncos as they're right in this thing. And now Miami Trace is going to have it inside the 25-yard line in Bronco territory. So, again, we haven't seen Loudermilk at all in this second half, and that's not a knock on Carson Parker, but he just hasn't taken a lot of kickoffs this year. We've seen him do it in the past, so we know that he can, but costly mistake there for Western Brown.
Yeah, really costly as they have a chance to go down the field and knock it to a one-score game. And now Miami Trace in excellent field position to start this drive.
And I would assume we are going to see a heavy, heavy dose of Mr. Julian Baker here playing with a 9-point lead and 9:44 to go in the ballgame. Now they're going to hand it to the up man. Going inside, back up the middle. That's number 44, Weston Dawes again. He's going to go forward for a short gain. He's going to be second long.
Yeah, and Coach Williams is just going to want to keep this on the ground, keep it in bounds, keep that clock moving. Again, 2-score game at this point. If they can chew up enough clock, you don't even need to score in this situation. Just limit that opportunity from Western Brown if you can use up enough clock.
So at this point, going to have to try to get a 3 and out, or hope that Miami Trace is going to cough one up here for you to get an extra possession. So again, one of these situations where, this is the kind of team that they are. This is the run-heavy stuff that they like to do. This is their bread and butter. This is what they're built for. Phipps in the shotgun, ready for it, takes the snap. He's going to hand this one off to Baker. Baker going up the middle. He's met right away by a couple of Bronco tacklers. They'll go down for a short gain or maybe even no gain. Yeah, they're going to give him a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and about 7.
And not much going there up the middle, though, for that Bronco defensive front. Doing a good job on this series on the quick turnaround with the special teams turnover. So another 3rd and long for them and a chance to get off the field.
I think they're going to spot on the 21-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and 7. 8.5 to go in the ball game. Miami Trace leads 28-19. Phipps in the shotgun, claps his hands, takes the snap. Takes a handoff, looking to throw, has some pressure, rolls out to his right now. Phipps fakes it a couple of times and now pulls it down, and Phipps is going to have the first down inside the 10-yard line, it looks like. So a nice run by Phipps. And that was another thing there. Phipps pumped it a couple times. We've seen him make that throw, and he just kind of put Peyton Day on an island out there and just not much to do.
Yeah, they only had maybe 1 or 2 guys out in a route. The tight end kind of over the middle, running back towards the ball, but Phipps, great speed at the quarterback position, just tucks that one down, lowers the helmet, and able to pick up the first down now in the 1st and goal.
Phipps has done a really nice job. I mean, again, hasn't really thrown the ball down the field, but has made some really good decisions, some really good reads, and he is a very capable runner all the way down to the 7 now, where it's going to be 1st and goal for Miami Trace. Phipps takes the snap, hands it to Baker. Baker going off that left side, cuts it back up the middle, and they're going to spot him, I think, on about the 1-yard line. Baker went down to the ground in the pile, couldn't see, but it looks like he's going to be just short. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, had a big hole open up on that left side, got a full head of steam rolling, and got brought down just shy of the goal line. Expect nothing less, but that same play here is they're going to let this play clock run all the way down, probably inside 5 seconds.
And that time I think they kind of ran it away from – no, I think they ran it right – why wouldn't you run it right behind the big D1 offensive lineman Guthrie over there on the left side? And we've called his name a couple times here tonight. 7 minutes ago, 9 seconds on the play clock. They take the snap, hand it, and Baker's going to fly over top of the pile, and he goes in for his 2nd touchdown. So 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 throwing for Julian Baker, and that's going to make it a true 2-score game now for it was before, but a true 2-score game, 34-19 with the extra point coming up.
Yeah, a good run there on 2nd and goal, and Miami Trace does a great job capitalizing on the turnover, puts it in for 6, chews up a little bit more of that clock as well.
And I feel like that drive, that was a perfect example of what we were talking with Coach Taver Mowry about, kind of getting none of the credit. Guthrie just leading the way on that left side as the extra point is up and good to make it a 35-19 ball game. So Miami Trace is able to punch it in for 7 more to extend their lead now. 6:55 to go in the ball game. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and GoodGuysRadioTV.com.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From Shack basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer!
To Shack Baseball.
Wells is going to drive. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown Football.
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
To Shack Volleyball.
Hatton for the kill. It's good.
Local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV.
Some of these guys getting banged up in this one.
Kickoff's going to be fielded on the run by Morgan about the 25-yard line. He's coming back towards his own sideline. Now makes a cut move back the other way. He goes up past the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So a nice job by Justin Morgan to get a pretty good return, pretty good field position for Western Brown. Now they're going to have to pick up the pace. Only one timeout left, 35-19, 6:51 to go. Still a lot of time. I mean, you never know what could happen. But if you're going to try to claw your way back into this one, got to score quickly.
Yeah, and their drives offensively have been pretty sustained and using up a lot of the clock. So they've got to speed up, kind of run your 2-minute offense. Probably going to see them throw it a little bit more, try to get down the field a little bit quicker.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Bradford's going to go in the shotgun empty set this time. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. Kind of that more traditional spread we've been kind of used to seeing from Western Brown the past couple of years. Bradford's going to run it. Bounces it out to the right. Bradford has all kinds of room, and he's going to slide it down past midfield and get back up quick. And now going to kind of see the 2-minute drill, but a nice run by Bradford up to the 50 to move the chains.
Yeah, and see him going no huddle now. Offensive line staying right at that line of scrimmage.
Now Zayden Nichols will check in as Adam Pena trots off to the sideline for Western Brown. 6:34 to go. Empty set again. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. Bradford ready for the snap. Looking to throw this time. Has good protection now. Rolls out to his left. Squares the shoulders. He's going to throw it into some traffic. And a nice sliding catch by Braden Harmon at the 37-yard line. That'll move the chains again for Western Brown.
Yeah, patient throw there, too, from Bradford. Just staying in that pocket. Eased out to that left side. Finds his open man down the field for a first down.
Harmon, nice little baseball slide there to come away with that one. 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Bradford going quick. 45-yard line. Has good protection. Now some pressure. Tries to step out through it, and he's not going to get away. That's number 53, Cam Morton, got a hand on him and wouldn't let him go and drops him for a big loss all the way back to almost midfield.
Yeah, big loss. Looked like he was going to be able to step out to that right side, but got that bear paw on him and just brought him down for a huge sack.
That looked like a sticky hand, man. He got a hand on the jersey and would not let him go. Bradford is going to throw this one quick out to Valdez, trying to make a move out there. He does get a few yards back, but it's going to be a 3rd and really long here for the Western Brown offense.
And not a lot going there on the screen play. So 3rd and long, but Coach Osborne's got 2 drawn up for this one. Try to get at least half of it here on this play.
So ball's on the 44-yard line now, where it's going to be 3rd down and 17. So still a long way to go to move the chains. 5:20 to go in the ball game. Bradford takes a snap. He's going to run this one off the right side. Has some room. Cuts it back to the left now. Trying to get back out to the sideline. Bradford still going. Back past the original line of scrimmage down inside the 35. So a 4th down, a little bit more manageable now for the Western Brown offense.
Yeah, good run. Tucks it up. Runs over to that left side. Fights through some contact. Picked up more than half of that yardage now. 4th and about 6. Much more manageable now on this 4th down attempt.
Ball's on the 33-yard line. Empty set again. 4:46 to go in the game, and now Bradford's going to check the sideline to Coach Osborne. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Western Brown trying to convert a 4th down to keep the drive alive. Now Bradford directing traffic out on the far side. Zayden Nichols all the way lined up out on the far right, along with a couple other receivers. Harmon and Valdez on the bottom. 4th down. Going to throw it over the middle. This is a tough catch in traffic by Peyton Day. Peyton Day's having himself a heck of a game. He comes out with another catch. That's going to convert on 4th down inside the 25.
I think that one may have been tipped as well by the defender. Great concentration from Day to bring that one in with the tipped ball and the hand in your face as well. Pick up the 1st down. He just got just enough, too, to pick that up.
Western Brown going quick. Bradford takes a snap on the 30. He's going to run, has all kinds of room. Bounces out to the left. Bradford still going all the way down inside the 5. He's going to be dropped. Ball pops out, does go out of bounds. I think he was down by contact anyways. It's going to be 1st and goal. Another nice run from Bradford.
Yeah, big run there. Gets tackled inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. Got to keep going because this clock's going to continue to tick. He got tackled inbounds.
So 1st and goal. They're going to spot him on the 3-yard line, I believe. They're going to go 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Empty set for Bradford. 3:50 to go in the ball game. Bradford takes a snap, looks to throw to the right. Has some room up the middle. He's going to run it, and Bradford goes in for the touchdown. So he caps it off with his third touchdown run of the night. 3:44 to go in the ball game, and Western Brown cuts into that lead now with the extra point, or probably will be a 2-point conversion coming up.
Yeah, you got to go for 2 now. You were down 16, so cut it to an 8-point game with the 2-point conversion here.
So as it stands right now, 35-25, 3:44 with only one timeout. Especially if you get this here, I think you're gonna have to go for the onside kick. I would think, with only one timeout and the way that Miami Trace can chew up some clock. Empty set for Bradford. And now he's going to check over to the sideline to Coach Osborne. He's got 3 lined up out wide to his left, including Justin Morgan. 2 receivers on the high side on the right. Bradford's ready for the snap. And now they're going to blow it dead as I think.
False start.
Yep, it's going to be a false start on Western Brown, so it's going to back him up and make the 2-point conversion a little more difficult. So a little procedural penalty there on Western Brown's going to back him up past the 5-yard line to about the 7. Where it's going to be a 2-point conversion again coming up, trying to make this a true 1-score game here. An 8-point would be an 8-point game if they're able to punch this thing in. Same formation, 2 on the right, 3 on the left. Bradford in the shotgun. Bradford takes a snap, has some pressure right away, steps up through it, able to get out of it. Bradford's going to run it, bounce it to the right, and Bradford runs it in. Bradford is finding all kinds of room with the legs. And now Coach Chaz Patton comes sprinting down the field, and he's going to talk it over with his kickoff team. We got an 8-point game here with 3:44 to go. The problem is Western Brown only has 1 timeout remaining, so they're going to have to try an onside kick. I would assume there's no way. I mean, if they get 2 first downs with only 1 timeout, the ball game would be over. So we'll see if they're able to come up with a big. We haven't seen a lot of onside kicks this year. We've seen them try that a lot in the past. I'm not sure how many times Jeter has tried that or practiced that, but Western Brown gave himself a chance here with 3:44 to go.
I think they tried one against Chillicothe. That was the one we saw kicked out of bounds, and then they gave him the ball at the 45 or 50-yard line just based on where the ball went out of bounds. But I think that's the only one we've seen attempted. We've seen some squib kicks and the pooch kicks as well. So Coach Patton, like you said, hustled out there quick to get that call into the special teams unit.
Just a reminder, this broadcast is for the private use of the 99.5 The Edge audience. Any other use of the descriptions or accounts of this game without the consent of 99.5 The Edge is prohibited. So again, Jetter's going to tee it up on the 40. Got the hands team in there for Miami Trace. Got the receiver number 80, Jansen Smith, who caught that last touchdown. 3:44 to go. Still plenty of time if Western Brown can come up with this onside kick. Jetter's going to come up, pooches it up the middle. It's bouncing around, bounces off one of the defenders. There's a fight for the ball, and I think Miami Trace fell on it, had a little trouble. No signal yet, but Miami Trace comes out of the pile with it. But, man, they had a chance. Had some trouble up front there. I think that was number 28 came up to get it there. Austin Brown didn't get it cleanly out of the gate, but they're able to fall on it with 3:42 to go and only 1 timeout remaining for Western Brown.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity there. Bounced off the up man with a chance to get it, but now Miami Trace in great field position with only 3:42 remaining.
So still some time. You never know. They still have to hold on to the ball. You still have a timeout. If you can force them in some kind of, 3rd or 4th down situation, make them make a decision. I mean, I know it's good field position with the onside kick, but still a lot of time left here. Western Brown still has a chance in this one. If they can get in there and poke one out or come up with a big stop here, they would give themselves one more chance possibly to tie this thing up. Phipps ready for the snap, hands it to Baker. Baker going off that side. He's met immediately and dropped for a loss. A nice play by that Western Brown front over on the far side. I believe that was Nichols in on that one again, and big Emmanuel Gibbs pushes him back.
He tried to bounce it to the outside. Nichols flew in there quick. Big tackle for loss now on that first down play.
Correction, that was Landon Basham again. He's been involved in this one, backs him up a couple yards to the 50. Clock still rolls, though, with 3:15 to go. But a 2nd down and long situation here for this Bronco defense. Coach Osborne still holding on to that timeout right now. Going to try to force him into a 3rd down scenario here. One receiver lined up out wide to the left, 2 men in the backfield with Phipps. Phipps on the 45-yard line, claps his hands, ready for the snap. Hands this one to Baker up the middle. Baker puts his head down, runs through some tacklers. He's going to go forward past the 45. Yeah, so it is going to be a 3rd down, and now Coach Osborne is going to use that final timeout with 2:48 to go in the ball game. So Western Brown defense going to set themselves up with a chance here. Looks like it's going to be about a 3rd, and we'll call it 5 to go. on about inside the 45-yard line. But, hey, give yourself a chance here with 2:48 to go. If you can put them in a fourth down situation, I just don't see how they could, unless it's like fourth and really short, I just don't know how they could go for it and take a chance on giving the ball back this close to midfield.
Yeah, that'd be a tough call for Coach Williams, like you said, unless it's fourth and maybe 1 or 2 potentially. We'll see what they do here. I would assume they're going to keep it back on the ground with 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 5.5. But an interesting situation we got here. And you keep it on the ground, too, chews up a little bit more clock. So that's another thing to consider now. Western Brown out of timeouts.
Right. I mean, I can't see him throwing it in any capacity because an incomplete pass would be a big gift for Western Brown to stop the clock. In high school football, don't get that luxury, the 2-minute timeout there, 2-minute warning, whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6 from the 43. Big play in the game right here. Guthrie directing traffic up on that offensive line. Phipps ready for the snap. Hands it, pulls it down. He's going to throw it late. Has Enox out here trying to fight through. Enox is going to cut it back to the middle of the field. And Enox not only has a first down, he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. And now that's going to make it really tough for Western Brown as Cooper Enox. Another great decision by Phipps to throw it late. And that's going to take him all the way down around the 11-yard line. A big play for Miami Trace. And a big hill to climb for Western Brown now.
Yeah, really big. And now essentially you're going to be able to just run the ball and chew up the rest of this remaining clock.
Do have to run a couple of plays. They can't just kneel it down quite yet. So at this point, Western Brown really got to hope for a fumble or a missed handoff, a bad snap, something to go their way with 2:14 to go. And again, don't have quite enough time to just kneel it down, but a couple of run plays here, and they're going to try to run it out. Phipps ready for the snap, hands it to Baker. Baker going up the middle now, cuts out to the right side. He goes down inside the 10-yard line. With 2 minutes to go in the ball game, it's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, not much going there, but Baker's still able to pick up about 4 or 5 on that carry. That hole closed quick, but able to knife through it and get upfield. Chewing up a little bit more of this clock. It's going to be right around 1:20 at the end of this next play.
So it'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 7. Again, Western Brown just praying for a turnover. Trying to give themselves a chance to go down and tie this thing up with 1:30 to go. No timeouts left for Western Brown. All 3 timeouts for Miami Trace. Phipps in the shotgun, takes the snap with 4 seconds on the play clock. Hands it to Baker. Baker's going to be dropped quickly. Not going to have enough for the first down, I don't think, but it's going to be 3rd and short. And now going to have to run one more play. And if they can get a first down here, that would do it. So just over a minute to go in the ballgame.
In this situation, I think they're going to keep the ball on the ground for 2 plays and just try to not give the ball back to Western Brown as now the clock ticks under 1 minute.
Well, remember 99.5 The Edge is your home for the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen in this Sunday, September 21st, as the Bengals hit the road to battle the Minnesota Vikings. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. Kickoff at 1. 45 seconds to go, and after they snap this, if Western Brown doesn't get a turnover, that's going to be it because less than 40 seconds to go on the clock. So ball security of the utmost importance here for Miami Trace. They're going to take a timeout with 34 seconds. Coach Williams is going to use that first timeout and just double check, make sure everything's on the up and up. But Western Brown, man, gave themselves a chance, battled back. Still not over, still 34 seconds. Hey, you could get a scoop and score. You could get a fumble and at least give yourself a chance to get down there and, try the old Cal Stanford play. But if Miami Trace can hold on to it here, that's going to do it.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta force a turnover here and give yourself a chance. That's about the only opportunity at this point. So they've struggled to do that. Again, Western Brown only had 5 offensive possessions in this ball game. They were able to score on 4 of them. Keep it a 1-score game here, but defense has struggled tonight and really has been worn down by this big offensive front for Miami Trace.
Well, I mean, their 4th possession almost took the entire 3rd quarter. It was almost a 10-minute drive. So this could be the final play of the game if Miami Trace can hold on to the snap. And I would assume they're just going to take a knee, as now Phipps will take the snap and take a knee, and that's going to do it for the game here tonight. So Western Brown's going to fall short. Its final score is going to be 35-27. Miami Trace is going to come out of here with a win. But again, Western Brown put up a heck of a fight, able to really put together a great drive in the second half. And we heard the the coaching staff coming down the steps here in the press box and kind of going down to the field. They kind of feel like maybe they let one kind of get away. And, just that unfortunate blunder on that one kickoff kind of becomes the difference. And Miami Trace is going to survive, and they're going to go to 5-0 on the season as they enter conference play. Western Brown's going to move to 0-5 as they enter conference play against Wilmington next week on the road. So, again, final score here from this one, 35-27 in favor of Miami Trace. We will take a short break, and we'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV with our postgame show.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Southern State Community College celebrates 50 years of educating our community. From humble beginnings, Southern State has evolved to become a cornerstone of accessible education, offering flexible learning that includes a growing number of online classes and fully online programs. Southern State Community College empowers you to succeed quickly with a very affordable tuition rate when compared to many four-year institutions. Call 800-628-7722 or apply online at sscc.edu.
Highlands County Senior Citizen Center's annual Senior Expo is Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with free bingo to follow. Over 60 businesses from Highland and surrounding counties will be there providing valuable information for seniors. Mark your calendar for this event. Enjoy a live band, costume contest, tons of free giveaways and prizes. The event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for raffles and lunch. The public is invited to attend this valuable resource fair and fun. See you Tuesday, October 7th.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding, family owned and operated since 1958.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
14-0, put themselves in a little bit of a hole. And Miami Trace scored quick there on a couple of plays, a one-play drive for a touchdown, had a couple other quick ones. But Western Brown really able to claw their way back into this one. And, just fall just a little bit short there as a turnover kind of hurts them there on the special team side of things. But, those things are going to happen. And I think that, again, I've said this before, and no coach wants to hear about moral victories, but I feel like that has to feel, give them some confidence. That has to feel like their most complete game that they played outside of maybe Hillsboro. I know they got off to a really bad start there, but played a really good third quarter. I think maybe that's probably their most complete game of the season so far. That's a really good football team. I mean, they go to 5-0 on the season. They've got some great pieces. Anytime you've got someone that's at the level of being able to go play football at Clemson University, on the other side, and a running back like Julian Baker who can do what he can do, and Cooper Enoch's had a big night here tonight. That's a good football team and something for Western Brown to build on, and it's not going to get any easier next week against Wilmington. They've had a couple of really close games. They've won some big games, and Wilmington's always a tough game, always a hard-fought battle for these Broncos. But again, Western Brown falls to 0-5 after the 8-point loss, 35-27, but again, Rob, kind of seems like their most complete game so far of the season.
Definitely, yeah. Offensively, they looked really good all night long. Aside from that first series, really did a good job driving the ball down the field, had sustained drives too, chewed up a lot of clock, and defensively they just couldn't get off the field. They put themselves in a couple situations and third downs, and Miami Trace able to convert on all of those and get off either sustain the drive or score on those plays. So they did a great job all night long.
So again, final score 35-27. We will take a short break, and we'll be right back to name our 99.5 The Edge player of the game right after this on 99.5 The Edge and GoodGuysRadioTV.com.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref.
That's simple human sense.
Your local auto owner's agent is Cooper Tarvin Insurance. Call 513-752-9960 or visit ctinsurance.net.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From Shack Basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer!
to Shack Baseball,
Wells is going to drive. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown Football
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
to Shack Volleyball,
Hatton for the kill, it's good.
local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
I should say drive. Had some really big catches on third downs, third and longs, and just kind of seemed to be the favorite target of Deion Bradford tonight. And so we're going to name him our 99.5 The Edge player of the game. He had himself a heck of a ball game. He's one of those guys that plays both ways and, has had some flashes here and there so far this season, but tonight kind of seemed like his coming out party. And, Peyton Day had himself a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, and it seems like he and Bradford just really click. They're able to he's able to get back to the ball in those situations where Bradford has to roll out of the pocket and extend plays, and he seems to be that guy. They're just on that same wavelength and creating. So Peyton Day, great game. Like you said, he had the one-handed catch, which was incredible in the end zone on that far side of the field, and then he had the fourth down conversion on their last offensive series to extend the drive. Just got enough of that one to get beyond the sticks. He had some other plays on third down, converting. Great performance and well-deserved.
So, again, congratulations to Peyton Day, our 99.5 The Edge player of the game, and had himself a heck of a ball game here tonight. We'll see if he can build on that for the rest of the season as the Broncos move into conference play. And I think Rob's got some stats for you and some updated scores from some of those games across the league in Cincinnati.
Starting with the Broncos offensively, 17 first downs. Showed a great ability tonight to have those sustained drives, keep things moving. 8 for 11 on third down conversions, much improved there. 3 for 3 on fourth down conversions. 1 turnover, which was on the special teams fumble, and 2 penalties for 10 yards. Defensively, Miami Trace, 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 pass breakup, 1 fumble recovery, which was on that special teams play, and then the 1 special teams penalty for 15 yards. Offensively for the Panthers, 8 first downs. They were 7 of 8 on third down conversions, and 1 penalty for 5 yards. Defensively for the Broncos, 2 tackles for loss, and then 2 penalties totaling 20 yards, one of those being on special teams. And some of those scores across the board in the league: Batavia leading 20-7 versus Bethel. Wilmington leading Chillicothe 13-12. Cincinnati Country Day winning 35-0. Clinton Massey beating Monroe 34-6. Gamble Montessori against East Clinton. Gamble Montessori up 18-7. Goshen all over Blanchester 57-12. New Richmond losing to Roger Bacon 42-22. And Williamsburg all over McLean 26-7. And some of those other scores, LaSalle over Withrow 20-14. Anderson over Kings 42-17. Elder over Louisville St. X 23-17. Cincinnati St. X losing 13-30 to Moeller. Princeton 28-0 over Lakota East. West Claremont up 28-21 against Milford. And Highlands beating Ryle 28-24. And Lakota West and Fairfield all tied at 7.
Man, Anderson is just cranking out. I mean, they are just year after year. I mean, just
they were down at the half.
Powerhouse.
And they turned it on in the second half.
So I think they made it all the way to the state finals last year and lost in the state championship. So, I would expect more of the same from the Raptors again this year. Well, we got Bengals game coming up. OU tomorrow. Again, unfortunate news for Bengals fans and Bengal Nation. Joe Burrow just can't quite seem to stay on the field. And, I mean, a lot of people talk about the offensive line just not being very good, but it seems like he just has bad luck. It's just like, the wrist thing was kind of a strange injury. Turf toe is something that you hear about all the time, but not something that usually requires surgery. So it just seems like Burrow and the Bengals have some. I think that Cincy curse might have some merit to it. But again, Jake Browning capable. I mean, he's won games for him before. He finished out last week with the win. They got the Vikings on the road who are beat up a little bit. Don't have McCarthy. Don't have Aaron Jones. I don't think either this week. Couple of ankle injuries for them. So we'll see what the Bengals are able to do. Hopefully they can get to 3-0 and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, definitely. This is another definitely winnable game for them on the road. I believe it's on the road up in Minnesota. So hopefully they can get another one. Best start that they've had under Zach Taylor so far. So Browning, I mean, he had 3 interceptions last week, but still I think he threw for over 300 yards as well. So pretty impressive to recover from some of those mistakes and get the win for the team.
Well, I mean, the good news for the Bengals is you're throwing to Jamar Chase. I mean, there's a lot of NFL quarterbacks who are capable of throwing passes to him and T. Higgins and some of those other guys. So Chase Brown having a nice start to the season. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We saw Coach Osborne kind of go by. It looked like he was kind of trying to get into the locker room and maybe deal with some stuff, going on. So I don't think he's going to come up here as the stands have kind of cleared out here. But again, final score from this one is 35-27. Western Brown drops a tough one. They go to 0-5. We'll be back with you next Friday on the road at Wilmington for their first conference game. And, Coach Osborne talked about it, kind of a fresh start. The second half, you kind of start like you think about it like you're 0-0 again. You're back to the beginning, back to the start of kind of the second season for the Broncos. And, hey, he's preaching to them. There's still a league title on the line here. We can still go out and play really well and win a lot of games in the second half. And I think that's, after tonight, they got something to build on.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of promise. They've got a lot to be proud of after tonight's game. Obviously some stuff to still work on, but this offense is starting to get things clicking and getting a good rhythm, especially getting that run game established. So that's going to be crucial for them as they head into league play.
So, again, final score 35-27. We'll catch you next week on 99.5 The Edge for that road game at Wilmington. Thanks to Brandon Rigdon on the camera up top for us and GoodGuysRadioTV.com. Carson Inman back in the studio for us. It is Fair Week here in Brown County, so make sure to get out there and check out the Brown County Fair. I'm Greg Liming with Rob Bowman. We'll catch you next week on 99.5 The Edge. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Rewatch this video and many more on demand at GoodGuysRadioTV.com.